There we are, that's a rousing minute's applause for the late John Motson. And the white ball is plonked down on the centre spot, and the Grimsby players are now going to have their little huddle in their own time as well, whilst the Southampton players are all lined up. The Mariners players are going to do it at their pace tonight, Gary Croft.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they've got to just play their own game. Town have tonight. They've got to stay focused, organised. They'll have a game plan, there's no doubt about it. They've got to play with confidence when they get a chance to go forward. They've got to go forward in numbers, but they've got to choose their moments. Still be a very good attacking team. The Southampton have got plenty of players who want to make their mark and keep their place in the side. You know, they're much higher than Town. The talent on the show is still going to be very high, but we know Town can turn on a performance, beating 4 teams above them already, so it's there for the taking.
It is indeed, and it will be the Mariners to get us underway tonight, with Max Crocombe in goal as Gavin Holohan kicks us off, and it's driven by Alex Hunt long deep into the Southampton half. It runs off John McAtee and behind for a goal kick. So the Mariners have a 3-man defence of Michi Efete, Luke Waterfall the captain, and Niall Marr. Josh Emanuel, the former Hull City man, wide on the right-hand side. Anthony Glennon wide on the left, operating as wing-backs tonight. Alex Hunt keeping his place. Gavin Holohan and Harry Clifton in the midfield. John McAtee just behind Danilo Orsi in attack. And Southampton will play away from defence with Perrault, the French left-back. He'll go up the touchline. And Southampton will sweep the ball across the park to the right-back, Kyle Walker-Peters, the England international. A couple of caps to his name. Feeding towards the halfway line to the ponytailed midfielder Mara, and an attack coming forward for Southampton, pushed out to the left-hand side. Maybe a crossing chance just off the angle. It'll be swinging towards the back post for Southampton. It'll go all the way through, and it will be Max Crocombe's goal kick for his first touch of the ball. Gary Croft.
Yeah, we just saw there what Southampton can do. Just picking Town off a little bit. Town a little bit too keen to try and nick the ball, losing shape immediately, and they got it switched twice over to this side, then the far side. A bit of a 2v1 situation, but poor ball in, thankfully.
Lianco reads the clearance out from the back, from the right back area by the Mariners. I think it was Josh Emanuel, in fact it was Michi Efete knocking it long, and here's a ball into the Town penalty area, giving Mara something to chase after. It's got a deflection through, and Southampton have forced the game's first corner kick wide on the left-hand side in the 2nd minute.
Well, this is where they want Ward-Prowse's quality. I'm sure there's other players that can whip the ball in. It's an early test for Town. I'm looking at Luke Waterfall now with his magnetic head to get this ball away.
Well, up from defence is a 6'4" Brazilian centre-half, Lianco. Perrault is about to take this corner. It will be an away swinger from the Southampton left. Anxious early moments for the Mariners. It's low into the penalty area towards Armstrong. He tried to get the shot away, didn't connect with the ball, comes to the angle, and on the left-hand side it's with Southampton. The ball is in towards the middle, towards the back post. This is dangerous. It's headed towards the goal and straight to Max Crocombe, who can just catch it out of the air. And rather comfortably so, it has to be said. It was Orsic who got the touch towards goal, but it was never going to trouble the Mariners goalkeeper, or the Mariners goal for that matter, Gary Croft.
Well, just showing how sharp they are. A nice quick corner there, well back, but Town a little bit on the heels.
Long downfield by Crocombe, yep, and it's all the way through to his opposite number, Alex McCarthy. One of 9 changes being made tonight by the new Southampton manager, Ruben Selles. And Southampton will play away from defence. It's pushed out to the left-hand side to Perrault, and picked up now by Alcaraz, the Argentine midfielder. Into the centre circle it goes to Lavia, up towards the halfway line, and he will try and pick a pass through the middle, and it's a mistake by Waterfall, and an early chance for Southampton, and the save is made there to deny Mara. It's still kept in on the left-hand side. The linesman's then got his flag up, but it was misjudged there through the middle by Luke Waterfall. He just took his eye off it, and it's sat up nicely for Mara, and he should have done better. He should have opened the scoring.
Well, he should, but he's actually been given offside now. He's brought it back. He was an offside in the original moment, but Luke Waterfall wasn't to note that. He tried to chest it down. It looked very awkward what he was trying to do. I think the ball was maybe spinning, and it spun off his chest, and he was clean through. Max Crocombe made up some good ground there to get the block on the shot, but thankfully he got brought back for offside. But it's a bit of a slow start by Town. They need to wake up a little bit.
Hearts in the mouth time for the Mariners there. Ball headed on by Emanuel down the right-hand touchline from the goal kick downfield. and it will spin away for a Southampton throw. Southampton in poor form in the Premier League. They've lost 4 of the last 5, and with the wholesale changes tonight, you just wonder how it's going to settle down for them. Out towards Walker-Peters at right back. It'll run away from him, and Grimsby Town have got the throw-in, and they need to take the time here. I think they did this at Luton, didn't they, when we went down to Kenilworth Road? They took the time over the throw-ins. They took an age at times with the throw-ins, just to take the pace out of the game.
Just slow it right down, especially after this start. Southampton started really brightly. Town hardly had the ball at all so far.
Mars' throw down the left-hand side for the Mariners is helped on the air by Orsi towards the corner flag, away from Harry Clifton. Goal kick to Southampton. Town unbeaten in 3, then arriving here at St Mary's, having drawn the last 2. They've won 2 of the last 3 though on their travels, but it's an entirely different game tonight. Forget about the league. It's all about adapting to the stadium that they're in and not getting overawed by the experience tonight.
Well, it's, you know, try not to get frustrated at having the ball, get used to not having the ball and just stay disciplined.
Through midfield, Southampton with Perot, the left back, is high up the pitch. Now to Armstrong, looking to step inside Holohan, and well won back by McAtee. There's a foul there. Midway through the Town half, Grimsby Town free kick. 5.5 minutes gone. Hope you're well tonight. Hopefully you are picking up the atmosphere, and it's just the Grimsby fans you can hear. You can't hear any chants from the home supporters. It's the 4,300 travelling Mariners fans making the din. Out of his penalty area to take this free kick is Max Crocombe, and he looks to pick out a blue shirt wide to the left. It's too strong though for Glennon, and Crocombe apologises with his white glove held high in the air, but that needs to be better, doesn't it? Well,
he had a real poor kicking game actually on Saturday. That time, at least that one was in the air. The other ones were going along the floor on Saturday.
I don't think we quite established why his kicking was so poor at the weekend. There were 3.
I think for me it looked like his standing foot. I think he had a little bit of lacking confidence about his standing foot. He kept going from under him a couple of times. It even happened to the other keeper actually, whose kicking was also a little bit poor, but hopefully he's rectified that tonight.
First meeting between Southampton and Grimsby in any competition since 1978 tonight. That last one was won by the Saints 4-1 in an FA Cup second replay in the 3rd round after 2 goalless draws in the 3rd round. Don't get those nowadays, do you? This one will be settled on the night. No replay this evening. Ball forward by Alcaraz. Well won back by the Mariners. And Mishiafete on halfway. Orsi towards Clifton. Back with Southampton. And Walker-Peters facing up towards the halfway line, trying to get away from John McAtee, who's harassing him, but still with Walker-Peters into the Mariners' half. Away to the right-hand side it goes. And here's Mara. And up towards the edge of the Mariners' penalty. We're looking for Armstrong. Should be dealt with here by Glennon on the left-hand side of the defence, and he clips up towards the halfway line. It bounces off a Southampton boot. Orsi was pursuing that ball on halfway in front of Paul Hurst and Chris Doig at the edge of the Mariners' technical area. Town haven't settled into this game. It's actually been given as a Southampton throw, but really Grimsby haven't settled at all. It's 7.5 minutes gone, and it's Southampton in the possession at the moment of the ball, and it's back to the centre circle, and Perot up towards the halfway line. 0-0 on BBC Radio Humberside, and at centre half Saleta Sar, the Croatia international centre half, forward towards Lavia, and back at centre half with Saleta Sar. Wide left Perot. Nearly 8 minutes gone. 0-0. But Southampton hogging the ball at the moment. Alcaraz with it. Ball sent skipping out to this right-hand side. Walker-Peters up against Glennon. He wins that particular duel, sliding in at the feet of the Southampton left-back, or right-back I should say, and that's gone for a throw-in to Southampton, almost level with the Town penalty area, and taken quickly. Walker-Peters gets the ball back right side, and then back into Lavia. Down the touchline it goes, out for a Southampton throw. What would you be shouting out there if you were on the edge of the technical area, if you were Paul Hurst?
Well, he's just looking for the spare men. They're very cleverly getting in between the lines, Southampton at the moment. So it's just organising who's got who and where we need to be looking out for players at the moment. As you'd expect, Southampton very comfortable on the ball.
And they've got the throw-in at the edge of the Town penalty area. Ball is into Lavia. And now Walker-Peters thinking about the cross, teasing the Mariners' defence. Marr is across at the byline. Can Walker-Peters get it over? He can't. It's come off the toe end of Marr for a corner to Southampton. Another one for them. This time wide on the right-hand side, right before the travelling Mariners support. 9 minutes in, 0-0, but it's all Southampton. And it will be a corner which will be taken from Orsic from the right. Might be an away swinger, the way he's shaping up to take this, although his last one looked like it was going to swing away from goal before it was rolled to the right edge of the box. Orsic, left arm aloft. This time he does loft it into the penalty area, looking for a Southampton head. Town will scramble away, and it'll be brought away by Danny Orsi. He runs into Southampton players though, and it's taken off him left side. Perrault, the left back, deep into the Town half, and it's gone out for a Town throw-in. Perrault couldn't make the most of that opportunity, although he was running into a bit of a cul-de-sac out there.
Well, every time Orsi gets the ball, he's absolutely surrounded, isn't he, by players. He's very tightly marked and lost out there, but chased back ever so well to make it difficult for Perrault to sort of get the ball in.
Town throw up towards the halfway line. Emmanuel loses out, and Southampton have the ball again. Lavia going back inside his own half to Lianco, ex of Sao Paulo and Torino. That's the calibre of opposition tonight for the Mariners to try and get beyond. There's a number of internationals in this Southampton lineup, and Saleta Sarr's got the ball and is 15 yards outside his penalty area, pushing away to the left. Perrault, the left back, up towards the halfway line. Armstrong in now to Lavia, the Belgium under-21 midfielder, now with Walker-Peters, tucked in from the right hand side in the Town half, well read by Luke Waterfall. Can Town scramble it upfield here? Clifton into the centre circle to John McAtee, who seemed off balance there as he tried to guide it into Danilo Orsi, and Southampton back on the front foot. Walker-Peters down the right hand side. Here is Ginepro, in comes the cross, headed forward towards the goal by Armstrong from about 15 yards out. He was off balance as he got the header in, and it loops towards the Mariners' goal, and there is Max Crocombe to hug that white ball against his yellow goalkeeping top. 11 minutes have gone, and it seemed a difficult start for the Mariners so far. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, they've just got to stay in the game at the moment. They haven't even had any kind of comfortable possession of the ball at all. They're just giving it straight back, but they're standing firm, putting in the tackle, staying in shape. That's what they've got to do. That's what the game's going to be about. Mostly, they'll have moments in the game. It's got to take advantage of them.
Ruben Sellers, the new Southampton manager, down below. He's got some white trainers on. Smartly dressed tonight, the Spaniard, the Valencian. Town trying to build forward down the right side, and Josh Emmanuel has won the Mariners a throw-in. It's just about level with the Southampton box. Emmanuel has Mishia Fete in a bit of space just behind him, but he's going to drop it towards McAtee. 0-0. McAtee wins the Mariners another throw. The Southampton defensive line is just at the edge of their penalty area at the moment. The midfielders have come back to help out the defenders. Another Town throw-in, and this time on the right, and it's arrowed in towards Danilo Orsi. He's got Southampton players all around him, but here's a burst of place into the penalty areas. Without a penalty kick, Afete has gone down, tumbled to the turf, but the referee has allowed play to continue. I thought he might look at VAR there for a moment. We've got that tonight. Here is Glennon, deflected ball in, breaks to Clifton, left-hand side of the penalty area, lofted high into the box. Can a Mariners player get on the end of it? Well, Emmanuel was chasing it, comes out towards Holohan, he loses out, and Ginepro might break downfield. Town win it back though, and now this is John McAtee, and suddenly you can feel a bit of confidence coursing through the Mariners. But Southampton pick it up just inside their own half. Ball given away. Here is Marr, forward now towards Harry Clifton, on towards Danilo Orsi. He's got a runner in John McAtee, but he can't quite take it in his stride, and it runs through to the goalkeeper, Alex McCarthy. That's more like it. It's taken them 13.5 minutes to try and fashion something, but suddenly it's the Mariners fans you can hear.
Absolutely.
Sensing that they might be able to get a goal in this game.
Some good challenges there going in there, giving them a bit of confidence, and a nice little bit of play there by Clifton and Orsi. It's just a little bit heavy from Orsi's pass, and otherwise McAtee would have been in on goal there.
Coming forward is the left-back Perrault. He is a dangerous operator. We've seen that in the Premier League this season. In a deep-lying position, this is Romeo Lavia through Lianco, wide to the right-hand side to Walker-Peters. Skips inside Anthony Glennon, but Harry Clifton helps out his teammate and blocks the ball. Throw into Southampton, which will be taken by Walker-Peters. 12 million quid from Tottenham back in 2020. Throwing the ball in now towards the Southampton midfielder Carlos Alcaraz. Back towards Walker-Peters, faced by a wall of blue shirts ahead of him. Town keeping good defensive shape, but they can be unpicked quite easily by the quality in this Southampton lineup. It's switched across the park, straight to a Mariners player in Emmanuel, and Town wide on the right-hand side with Afete. Afete back to the halfway line from the right wing, and then it'll be swept out towards the left-hand side by Alex Hunt. Not seen a lot of the ball in the opening skirmishes here. It's out off a Southampton player in Walker-Peters. Glennon wins his side a throw-in at about 20 yards from the corner flag in the Southampton half. Nearly a quarter of an hour gone. 0-0. Gary Croft, what are you thinking, what you're feeling at the moment?
Well, I'm feeling a little bit better about Town. Have a bit of possession. They're under so much pressure. The Town defence getting stretched all over, but they've won a few important tackles now and having a bit of play themselves. Throw
into the byline, hooked back by Glennon. Out of the box it comes. Holohan to the right to Michy Afete. Down the touchline he's got Emmanuel. Further forward is Danilo Orsi. Should be meet and drink this for Saleta Sarr. But the ball stays alive, and here is Emmanuel. Ball runs off his shoulder, I think, in the end, and out for a Southampton throw. Cold night here in Hampshire this evening. We've had rain, and we've had storm clouds rolling across Hampshire this afternoon. But it is, I think, a clear night, because you can feel it in the temperatures. There's a little nip in the air, isn't there? Southampton with the ball in defence at the moment. Away to the left-hand side to Perrault, and back to the bearded Saleta Sarr, and up towards the halfway line. Ball headed down by Alex Hunt, and even he got on the end of that ball. All 5'6" of him. Town on the ball at the moment. Emmanuel to Afete into Emmanuel. Now can he open up his stride? He's got a couple of Southampton players around him. Can't quite wriggle his way between the pair of those. And Southampton with Perrault the left-back. And he will exchange passes with a teammate and smash it up towards the halfway line. Luke Waterfall wins this one before Alex Hunt. Bit of head tennis on halfway. Waterfall, though, heads it down, and it's hooked out towards the left by Alex Hunt. And it's got Glennon chasing across to this left-hand side. Can't keep it in. Didn't really stand much of a chance, did he, if truth be told? No, a bit of a blind pass, but he did that a few times on Saturday. Hunt switching the ball early and it worked, but that time a bit of a loose one. But Town, the way they're closing down has already improved, preventing that switch a little bit better than what was happening at the start. It was going straight across. That time it does now again, but much better press from Town. Lianco floats one out towards Perrault, the left back. He slides the ball down the inside left channel, but across comes Michy Afete to get there before Armstrong. Town have got the ball back, but only momentarily, because it's back with Lianco, the centre-half, who's on the rim of the centre circle. Wide on the right is Walker-Peters. Going with him, shoulder to shoulder, is Harry Clifton. So Walker-Peters has to check back and then guide it in towards the midfielder Lavia. And back to Walker-Peters. Ball forward towards Gineppo. This could be dangerous at the byline. Town need to keep switched on. In comes the shot! And Southampton have taken the lead, but the flag is up. It was a low shot which Max Crocombe got a hand to, but the flag was up on Mara. I presume we're going to have a look at that on VAR, but the linesman seems quite confident. It was a nice through ball, wasn't it? It came round the other blind side of Mar. Didn't see him coming, and rather than just whip it back in, he just holds the ball up and pulls a lovely pull back, and it's a nice finish at the near post, but I can't quite see it on the replay.
It's the runner to the byline.
Yeah.
That was looks. I've just seen a replay, fellas. Looks marginally offside.
So you think the right call?
Yeah, I think the right call. It just comes so late.
Yeah.
You know, it's 2 passages of play almost before the linesman's flag goes up.
So that won't count, and it remains 0-0. But it's a warning sign. Here's Alex Hunt trying to win the ball back from Gineppo. Southampton throw.
It was Gineppo who was offside, I think.
Right. Here is Alcaraz up towards the halfway line. Harry Clifton sticking closely to him like a fly to a windscreen.
He's got a tough job to do down, Harry. with the right back. Walker Peters wants to get forward at every opportunity. He's got to work across that midfield left to right.
Walker Peters has been heavily involved, hasn't he, at the start of this game? Nearly 19 minutes have gone, and Southampton with Alex McCarthy, the ex-Reading goalkeeper, brings Lianco into play, who's a former Brazil under-23 international. He glances up and then spears one long out towards the left-hand side towards Armstrong, who picked the ball out of the air as it dropped over his shoulder, just keeps it in on that left-hand side, and Southampton in possession. Midway through the town half, wide on the left, and this is Armstrong pushing the ball back into midfield and in towards Alcaraz. Alcaraz wide to the left to Lavia, the youth product of Anderlecht. Ball given away as it comes forward for Southampton, and this is Mishiafete striding purposefully into the Southampton half, down the touchline towards John McAtee, who tries an early cross. I think it was a cross, but it could well have been an attempted shot there, but I think it was a cross, wasn't it?
Yeah, he
went over the goal anyway.
Yeah, he's tried to whip it, hasn't he? Just got no whip on it at all, just caught it on his toe and he just flew over the goal. But it's a good break by Town, patient defending, just waiting the moment to sort of push in and win the ball. Efforty there, coming out with the ball really well.
Lavia just in front of the defence, thinks about going left, just hesitates for a moment before laying it out towards Perot. And now to Letassar, to Lavia, to Lianco. Lianco drags his studs along the ball and then switches it across to his central defensive partner Letassar, the Croatian, and out left-hand side to Perot. He's forced back inside the Southampton half by Emmanuel. So Southampton will this time try and bring Walker Peters on the right-hand side of the defence into play, up towards the halfway line. Quick 1-2 there between Walker Peters and Gineppo, but Holohan sticks in a foot, tries to win it back for the Mariners, and then is hauled to the ground, spotted by the referee, who is Thomas Bramall tonight from Sheffield, and that is a free kick for the Mariners. He is a Championship and Premier League referee, Thomas Bramall, in his 23 games this season, 70 yellow and 1 red. And I shouldn't tell you that on VAR duty tonight is Craig Pawson. Town free kick. Hopefully we won't need VAR tonight, and it flows nicely and we get a fair contest. Crocombe out towards Glennon on the left-hand side, but it's gone out as he headed it infield. Glennon can't quite believe the decision, but it had gone out, hadn't it?
Yeah, it looked like it. We're not in line with it, but he's arguing the case. He didn't think so himself, but a bit of a waste of a free kick from Town.
I was just looking at where he was stood as the ball came out to him, and he was out of play, wasn't he? We're approaching the midway point in the first half here at St Mary's, and it's Southampton who've got the throw. Walker Peters going back to Lianco, the centre half, clubs one long down the right hand side. It will drop out for a Town throw. 64 places split these sides in the footballing pyramid, 3 leagues of course, and I think if all things being equal, Southampton play to their game tonight, they should win this one and should win by a canter. But we all know how football works. Dispossessed in midfield is Holohan, and this could be dangerous. Alcaraz to the edge of the Town penalty area, away towards the left-hand side, maybe a shooting chance for Southampton, and it's whipped in by Orsic just beyond the far post as Crocombe was scrambling across, and it's still 0-0, but only just.
Yeah, probably should have done better there, just tried to just set it outside the post and bend it back in, but Holohan getting caught on the ball in midfield there, sort of get harassed off the ball really, got surrounded really quickly by 3 Southampton players and created a bit of a 2v1 situation.
They're working hard, aren't they, Southampton? Sometimes you don't always see it with Premier League teams. They sort of sometimes sit off and give the opposition a little bit of time in midfield, but certainly not tonight. Long downfield by Crocombe, drops down in midfield for Holohan, out towards Glennon on the left-hand side, chests the ball down in the blue of the Mariners, and down the touchline he's got Harry Clifton. Again, closely watched by Walker Peters. And the 1-2 doesn't come off down the touchline with Glennon. Southampton throw.
And Harry asking for the foul there. I think he was quite justified there. Walker Peters got his arms around him.
It was all over him, wasn't he?
The ref not having any of that. I thought it was a foul.
Southampton still without their top scorer, Shea Adams, who's not involved tonight. He's injured. He's got 9 goals so far to his name. And the second top scorer, James Ward-Prowse, is amongst the substitutes tonight, which I'm sure when the Town players saw the team sheet, that would have heartened them. Walker-Peters along the deck to the halfway line, to the ponytailed Mara, and now picked up by Lavia, out to Perot on the left, and quickly confronted by the Mariners, and Saleta Sarr at centre half towards the halfway line, where Southampton just stroked the ball about, and Perot has the ball again, back to Saleta Sarr, who was a World Cup runner-up in 2018 with Croatia. Lianco to the right to Walker-Peters. He can't make progress upfield due to Glennon's positioning, and Saleta Sarr along the ground, and they play through midfield, and it's out towards the left-hand side. A crossing chance for Orsic. 3 in the middle for Southampton. In comes the diving header. It was slightly mistimed there by Alcaraz. Town still trying to get the ball outside the box. They do eventually, but it drops to a Southampton player. Eventually it settles down, and it's cleared up towards halfway by John McAtee in the right-back area.
Yeah, slicing through Town there a little bit too easily. We're being very patient. Town slowing Southampton down, but 2 good passes and they're through Town very quickly.
Town need to get amongst them a little bit more, because Southampton are controlling things, aren't they, for long periods, and just able to pick an opening when they want. Alcaraz on the left-hand side now to one of his teammates, blocked out by Emmanuel. Back on halfway with Lianco. Lianco has Harry Clifton quickly at him, but still with Southampton. And Lavia to Walker-Peters, who strikes it long, looking for Ginepro. Was there a push there from Waterfall? It was a fair challenge, says the referee. And on halfway, this is Danilo Orsi, who tumbles to the ground under the challenge from Lianco. And that is a Grimsby Town free kick, just inside the Town half.
Yeah, a little bit heavy there by Lianco, but also going down relatively easily. He's got to secure the ball and know what he's going to do with it when it comes into him early, because they're looking to nick it off his toe when he has a touch. He's having a touch and then having a think. He's got to know what he's doing with it when it comes up to him, but he also needs good support.
Southampton have beaten Palace and Blackpool en route to tonight's 5th round tie. Both 2-1 victories, away and at home respectively. Blackpool in the last round, when Nathan Jones was in charge. Long forward from the right boot of Mishiafete into the Southampton half. Up springs Lianco to beat McAtee to it in the air, and Marr away to the left to Glennon. Glennon closed down the touchline to Harry Clifton, outside the penalty area left side. 2 Southampton players quickly at him. Ball has just gone out for a Town throw. And we've played 27 minutes here at St Mary's. Southampton 0, Grimsby Town 0, live on BBC Radio Humberside. All frequencies tonight and on BBC Sounds to UK users only. Marr taking his time with this throw in. He's tossed the ball back to Otis Khan, who then gives it back to Marr. Marr stuffs the ball up his blue shirt like he's pregnant. He's going to wind up to take this long throw for the Mariners. He airs the white ball into the penalty area towards the front post, looks for the flick on, and it's cleared away. Afete couldn't quite guide it on, Waterfall couldn't make the most of it, and Town will move it back through Clifton to Max Crocombe outside his penalty area. He cracks it out towards the right-hand side, looking for Emmanuel. One in the air by Perot and cleared away by Saleta Sarr.
Well, the long throw causing problems there, wasn't it? It just dropped down for a second in the box there. He thought he was going to be under that, but luckily for Southampton, it was a defender. Anything can happen on them throw-ins, though.
I know. It needed to perhaps be arrowed in a little bit more rather than looped in. Town with the ball right side in the Southampton half. Move fizzles out. Brought down in midfield by Holohan, though. Back on the halfway line into the centre circle to Marr, who feeds it away to Glennon, quickly confronted by Walker-Peters. Down the touchline to Clifton. Glennon wants it on the overlap. In steps Lianco, and it's a throw into the Mariners at 25 yards up the touchline. And Marr is going to take this one. The ex-Halifax Town captain looking around for a bit of movement. Hunt comes close, and then back to Marr, and then infield, just outside of the centre circle, is Gavin Holohan. To Mishiafete, towards Emmanuel. I've not seen any real purposeful runs from Emmanuel like we know we can do. He's just not had the opportunity, has he, tonight so far?
No, absolutely. Every time he gets the ball, he's standing still. The defender's coming on to him. We need him with the ball a little bit earlier so he can have a go at that left back.
Ball forward from the captain, Waterfall, on halfway. A toe end forward from Holohan. It's won back by Southampton, and now into the town half. And coming forward is Mara, to the edge of the penalty area, attacking Luke Waterfall. He comes in field. In comes the shot from Mara, and there is Max Crocombe to flop on the ball away to his right-hand side. And Crocombe just sits on the ground, pulls up his stockings, and takes his time, tries to take the sting out the game. Nearly half an hour gone, no score. Southampton have had a goal chalked off due to an offside decision, but they've looked menacing coming forward, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. The possession stats are what we thought they'd be. And Town slowing them down a little bit, but they can just break so quickly. Got some real talent in this side.
A late challenge there from Alex Hunt, and Lavia picks himself up off the ground. Lavia, former Manchester City youngster, despite coming through the youth system at Anderlecht. Lianco's got the ball. He's got the free kick for Southampton. Not too much for the Mariners supporters cheered so far in the opening half an hour of the game, Crofty, but most importantly of all, their team is still in it.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to stay in the game. That's what you've got to do. Also, not too many out-and-out chances for Southampton either.
Lianco stumbles, but unfortunately Orsi was heading the wrong way, couldn't capitalise, and Southampton over the halfway line now towards Armstrong. He heads back to halfway, a foot in there from McAtee, but it comes back down in midfield for Southampton, and through the middle of the park Lavia comes forward and plays it towards Armstrong. Maybe a chance here. Across comes Crocombe though to pounce on the ball, and he rolls it short, and Town through Hunt will go away to Glennon on the left hand side, who's urged on by the 4,000 plus Mariners fans into the Southampton half. Southampton flood defence. Backward to square is Hunt, and it comes in towards the ex-Sheffield Wednesday man who's left his foot in on Lavia, and that's going to be the game's first caution of the evening. Yeah,
it was a sort of late one, wasn't it? A bad touch, second touch of tackle. Not very familiar with Hunt, with having a bad touch like that, but Glennon, I thought, a little bit negative going back inside a little bit too early. He had more space to run into down the left, but he sort of checked it inside, and Hunt was coming onto it a little bit too quickly, and as he slid in to get his second touch, it looked like he almost won it. I think he got a little bit of the ball, but he had his studs showing, and it looks a bit nasty than what it was. I think he genuinely went for the ball, but his studs just catch a trailing foot.
McAtee's down on the ground at the moment, just picks himself back up, having taken off his boot and then put it back on again.
He's not quite been in it. There's been a couple of moments when he's looked a little lax in possession, McAtee.
Yeah, I know, yeah, that's right, yeah. Then the ball was coming into his feet and he was waiting for the ball, and the defender nips in front of him. He's not quite find his spot yet, but he will find his spot. He's good at that through a game.
Hasn't had a great deal of service though, has he? And he's been given some difficult balls. On the halfway line, Southampton building. And this is Mara. Ball given away though, and Hunt on the halfway line, quickly in towards the possession of McAtee, out towards Emmanuel. He gets past his man, Perot, who was pulled back there, and Emmanuel would have been away down the right hand side towards the edge of the Southampton box had it not been for the intervention of the referee.
Well, the left back steamed in, did he? And Mayo let it go across his body, knocked it past him, and then wanted to get his body past him. They were kind of facing each other. He sort of pulled him out of the way to get past him, and the ref gave a free kick, but you could have argued an obstruction possibly going the other way.
Listen to the Town fans finding their voice again, and they are behind Max Crocombe's goal tonight. Town playing right to left, and wrestling for possession in midfield is Holohan, won back by him, and now Orsi away towards the right to Emmanuel. On the overlap is Mishiafete, who's got away from his man. Can he get the cross in? 3 in the box for Town, in it comes, but it's steered away in the middle by Saleta Sarr, side-footing away. Back with Town, and this is Emmanuel running at the Southampton players ahead of him, and there are probably about 5 or 6 in his way and breaking out from defence. The home team coming forward down the left-hand side, and they're coming forward in numbers now. Can they punish Town for giving the ball away? Just off the angle. Ball fed into the penalty area. Town will get it away though through Luke Waterfall, who gets there before Armstrong. The game going from end to end. Southampton have got the throw outside the Town penalty area left side. Taken quickly. Back up the touchline to Perot. In now to Lavia. To Perot and back to the halfway line. They will build patiently, will Southampton. And here is Perot on the ball. He pushes the ball back to Lavia and on the halfway line. What did you make of that passage of play?
Well, Town got down behind him, didn't it there? It was a bit disappointing from effort. He didn't really look to pick anyone out. Should have perhaps stood it up, but hit the first man. But that's when Southampton are going to be at the most dangerous, when Town are pushing players forward and nearly got caught out on the break again.
Southampton probing here into Armstrong, back to halfway. And we were wondering what sort of attitude Southampton would have tonight in the build-up to this game, and I think we've got our answer, haven't we? Here's Armstrong. Armstrong across the park to Walker-Peters, the right back in the Town half. It'll go infield now to Alcaraz and to Walker-Peters. Little step over there, sells the dummy to Harry Clifton, to Alcaraz. Outside the centre circle to Perot, the left back, tucked in off that left-hand side. Forward with his pass along the ground and back to the centre circle, sent out towards the right-hand side to Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters with a short 5-yard pass forward down the right-hand side, deep inside Town territory, gets the ball back. Can he get the cross in? He pulls it in towards the possession of Ginepro, and Southampton have got a man down injured in Walker-Peters, but Town will play out on the left-hand side of the defence with Glennon. Tickles one up the touchline to Harry Clifton, who's got a man at his back. And then a back heel by Alcaraz. Town win the ball back momentarily through Harry Clifton, who crumbles to the ground, couldn't keep up with his man, and maybe a shooting chance here for Southampton. Allsich tries one from range, bounces down to Emmanuel. He's blocked in here by a wall of red and white striped shirts, and Southampton will need maybe the physio to come on here to have a look at Walker-Peters as he tries to get back up to his feet, but it's not a head injury, is it? And the ball was put out. Let's have a look at that challenge there on Walker-Peters. It was a shoulder charge, wasn't it, from Niall Marr, and he's holding his ribs though after that challenge. He's back up to his feet, Walker-Peters. What did you think to that? Town have got a man down injured at the moment. It looks to be John McAtee.
He's struggling with something, isn't he? He hasn't quite looked himself so far, but it's a little bit of a naughty one, I thought, from Marr there. Just left a bit on him, didn't he? Came across him and made it look like he ran into him, but he gave him a bit of a stiff shoulder, Walker-Peters, but he's got away with it.
Now, McAtee isn't injured at the moment. I think he's just having a problem with his boot, which would slow the game down, wouldn't it, again?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can't blame him for doing that, can you?
It's frustrating for Southampton when they're trying to build momentum. Town are doing a decent job of making them put an extra pass in, but, you know, when they decide to just step the tempo up a little bit, they look very sharp.
McAtee with the back of his blue stockings ripped again to relieve the pressure on his calves. I tell you what, he must cost the club a fortune. Every match day he has his stockings ripped, doesn't he? Whether the red stockings or the blue ones or any other coloured stockings that he wears on a match day. The pink ones that they wear as well. The way downfield by Crocombe, we're back underway. Walker-Peters is okay, as is McAtee. And Southampton with the ball with Lianco. And we've played 37 minutes here at Southampton. It's 0-0 in the FA Cup 5th round. The Mariners of League 2, 16th in their league against Southampton, bottom of the Premier League, 3 points from safety. And Southampton have got the ball at the moment in defence with Saleta Sarr. He pushes the ball on, gets the ball back. Now with Lavia to the halfway line. Holohan couldn't get there, Southampton do, and this is Armstrong. A couple of Town players around him in Emmanuel and Afete, and the foul has been committed. Free kick Southampton, and it's played by Armstrong back towards the halfway line. It'll go across the park to Walker-Peters. Down the touchline he's got Ginepro, but still with Walker-Peters into Mara. Over the top towards Mara from Walker-Peters. Mara slipped, but he's still on the ball. He's got Mara across, and Mara wins the ball as it was just back heel into him, and Town can break up field here with Harry Clifton. Quickly closed down though. Alcaraz wins the ball back, and Town can't get into Southampton territory, and there's a little tangle there between Lianco and Orsi. Play continues though, and Gineppo will pick the ball up into the Town penalty area, faced by Marr. He goes to ground, looks to the referee for a penalty kick, but he's never going to get one of those in a million years, is he?
Well, he didn't even get his body past Marr, did he? Marr does it well, made a good wall, knocked the ball past him, flicked over his foot and kind of just went down. It's like he maybe slipped and tried to make it into something.
Well, what about the opportunities that we've seen in the game? Southampton have had the ball in the back of the net, we know about that. Chalked off for offside. Not too many chances though, certainly none for the Mariners.
No, we've had nothing, have we? But we've been in and around the goal. I think that's about what we're going to expect really so far. Just got to keep our shape. We've kept him down to a limited amount of opportunities. I think we need to really be reasonably happy with our performance. We've competed in midfield. We're making it difficult for them. We're making them put that extra pass in now. But they look sharp. They can step up another gear. When they go forward, they've got that killer pass in them.
Yeah, they can move through the gears. We've seen that so far. Southampton have progressed from their last 3 FA Cup 5th round ties, reaching the quarterfinals in the recent past. Here is Alex Hunt up towards the halfway line, away towards the right to Mishia Fete, dabbed back to Holohan, and on now towards Danilo Orsi. And here is Emmanuel down the right hand side, looks for the early cross, might sit in there for Clifton. He controls it, gets the shot away, but the goalkeeper's there to make the save. What a chance that was for Grimsby Town. Harry Clifton looks to the referee. I think he felt that he was pushed there, but what a great chance that was for the Mariners to open the scoring. Harry Clifton is sat on his backside at the moment inside the 6-yard box. He was smothered at close quarters there by McCarthy, but my goodness, what a chance for Grimsby Town to take the lead.
Well, Emmanuel found himself in absolutely acres down the right-hand side, didn't he? But he should have delayed his cross, really, but he whipped it in. Lianco made a right mess of it, and Harry Clifton just nipped in, took it off the toe of one of the other Southampton defenders, but the keeper came out smartly. I think he just about got it past him, or did he block it? I think the keeper maybe just staved it. It was very, very close to just lifting it over the keeper, and that was the goal.
And was there a handball in there as the ball came in from Lianco, from Emmanuel's right boot? Town have got the throw-in, but the referee here is waiting for Marr. Now, what's happening here? Well, we got a VAR check.
Possible penalty handball.
Checking possible penalty for handball.
When he ducked down to sort of head the ball, it was ever such a strange thing he tried to do, because he ended up flicking it on at it.
We have got a VAR check, and we're waiting at the moment. Referee Thomas Bramall is, at the moment, getting instructions from the VAR ref Craig Pawson. Have Grimsby Town got an opportunity here to get the spot kick as we move towards half-time?
He whips it in, he bends down to head it, and it does hit his arm. And his arm's out to the side. It does hit his arm, but is it in an unnatural position?
We're being made to wait here. The Grimsby fans
there's absolutely no doubt
waiting
about
at the moment, Crofty, with bated breath. To my mind, there's no doubt about it. Paul Hurst at the edge of his technical area with his hands sunk in his pockets, and they're taking an age over this. But we've seen a couple of replays now, and to my mind, Gary Croft, there is no dispute over this. It's a penalty kick, isn't it?
As well, it's an absolute definite handball. As he bends down, he completely mishits it. He's ducking down. He can't see where his trailing arm is. It's away from his side, not massively, not right out to the side, but down by his side. But does that handball prevent the ball going through to Clifton? There's no offside in the first instance to Emmanuel, because Lianco's playing him on.
Burnsy, what do you think?
Well, I thought at the time it hit his hand, but it was awkward.
It looked like it was head to hand at first when I first saw it.
It's not clear and obvious. It can't be if they've taken this long, can it? I think it'd be harsh if you're a Southampton player. Nobody appealed for it.
Well, I think it happened that quickly, because we were all focused on the chance for Clifton maybe straight after. He wasn't so concerned about what happened prior to it, but someone's obviously pointed out that hit the arm after it started. Maybe it was Harry when he sat on the floor. That's where he sat down.
The referee
is going over to have a look.
He is. And at Stockley Park, they'll have been watching all the replays. They're now checking whether there was an offside.
Well, I thought Clifton was offside in the middle when the pass was played, personally.
Yeah, he was, but I don't think it was. I think that was McAtee, actually, who's in the centre there.
And Clifton came late.
And then Clifton came
He's looking
after.
at the handball.
He's got his hands on his hips as the referee.
As that ball,
and it's across the monitor.
That hand stops the ball going over it. Without a doubt, I don't think there's a Town player behind there who could have possibly get it, because that ball is slowed down by the hand, and that creates the Clifton chance.
All from the Emmanuel cross. The referee is taking a long, hard look at this.
That's a handball. That's a penalty. I think it is.
How long does it take to make a decision like this?
Well, he doesn't know that there isn't a player behind him, so is he intentionally sticking his arm out to prevent? I think he is.
And we're still awaiting this decision.
I think he's got to give it.
Which way is it going to go?
If there's a Town player coming in behind him, which he doesn't know, he's preventing that ball going behind him.
The referee,
it's a penalty.
He's square in the air, and it's a penalty kick for the Mariners. After the handball from Lianco, Grimsby Town have got an absolutely golden opportunity here to get their noses in front pretty much on half-time.
Well,
at the weekend, Anthony Glennon missed the spot kick. This time, it's going to fall to Gavin Holohan.
Well, Gavin Holohan had the ball before Glennon as well on Saturday, and Glennon took the ball from Holohan.
The ball goes down onto the spot. The referee breaks up the players. Gavin Holohan, who opened the scoring at Luton in the first game in the last round, has a prime chance here. He's got his hands on his hips in the blue of the Mariners tonight before 4,300 travelling Mariners supporters in the FA Cup 5th round. Gavin Holohan has his chance here, and he could be one of the main headlines in the morning. He's up against Alex McCarthy. 64 places split these teams. Here comes Holohan, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way and fires the Mariners into the lead here at St Mary's. He puffs out his chest and is mobbed by his teammates down by the corner flag. After the handball by Lianco, Grimsby Town, who've had their backs against the wall for most of the first half, have the advantage. Not since 1939 have Grimsby Town made it through to the FA Cup quarter-finals, but they've got the chance tonight to do it. Gavin Holohan gives the Mariners the lead, and it's Southampton of the Premier League 0, Grimsby Town of League 2 1.
Well, there'll be no rush to get kick-started here, will he? But it's a brilliant penalty. He calls a cucumber, Gavin Holohan. He ran up, it looked like he was going to stick it to the keeper's left, and Cooley sent him the wrong way, gave him the eyes. It's a brilliant finish, and what a time to score just before half-time too. You just see this through now, and Southampton will have a hell of a lot to think about going into that half-time team talk.
Well, that's put the cat amongst the pigeons, hasn't it?
Well, it's about Town's second shot on goal. Harry Clifton got the shot in just after that incident, didn't he? But we've hardly featured in their goal mouth at all. But we've done it where it counts.
Well, one of the Mariners' biggest giant killings down the years was at Everton, and it was a backs-to-the-wall performance that night at Goodison Park back in 1984 when Paul Wilkinson scored that late winner. And there are shades of that. Town have struggled to contain Southampton in terms of the possession, in terms of getting in amongst them in this first half, but they've slowed things down when they've had the opportunities, and they've not had many of those, let's be honest. But it's the 4,000 plus Mariners fans who are all dancing up and down at the moment. The Harry Haddocks are being waved in the air, and Southampton have got the throw, and Town need to keep switched on here. Ball's cleared away by John McAtee. Out to play for a Southampton throw-in, just in front of the Mariners' technical area, taken by Walker Peters. He gets the ball back from Lavia, and we're going to see what Southampton are made of now. Here is Saletta Sarr feeding her way to the left-hand side, and back at centre-half is Saletta Sarr. And the away end at the moment, Crofty, is absolutely bouncing.
Absolutely, it's party time out there. They're going to enjoy this moment, even if it's just through the break. The sensational stuff by Town to hold firm, keep themselves in the game, defend with discipline, and they've got the reward.
Southampton forward towards the edge of the Town penalty area, away there by Alex Hunt, who ghosted in. Southampton throw. They trail the Mariners then by 1-0. That penalty kick scored by Gavin Holohan a minute into added time at the end of this first half. I didn't see the fourth official in all of that to signal how much additional time we've got, but we'll have a fair amount, I would suspect. And here is Walker-Peters keeping the pressure on for Southampton, attacking the blue shirts off the angle, swings one towards the back post, looking for Armstrong, over his head, bounces left-hand side, Perot with a shot, straight against Emmanuel's backside. Southampton throw, and quickly Perot, the left-back, is wanting to get that ball back urgently from a supporter down there on the front row of the stand. From the throw-in, he's got the ball back, scampers in field. Here is Alcaraz. Alcaraz away to the left-hand side. Crossing opportunity for Southampton. It's deflected behind. Southampton have got the corner.
Well, there's still time. Town has got to see it through. They're defending well. Southampton really throwing things forward now. Everybody in the last third of the field for Southampton now.
Can Town hold out to the break here? Flag kick Southampton left side. There are a number of players darting all over the place. Ball goes in towards Alcaraz, then comes the shot from about 15 yards out. Scoop goalwards by Mara, and it's wide. And Town could well be heading in at half-time with the advantage here at St Mary's.
Well, it's a really good chance, wasn't it? It was a poor corner. I don't think he intended to do what he did there. A low one, misses the first two plays, just bounces, comes awkwardly for Murray, has to open his body up the side of his right foot, was standing still, didn't really expect it, I don't think, and he leapt back and just siphoned it over the bar, but it's a really good chance, and I think he knows it.
Goal kick then with Max Crocombe, and he positions the ball down on the edge of his 6-yard box before lumping it away downfield, striking a big right boot through that ball into the Southampton half, flicked on in the air by Afete. Clifton gives chase, won by Lianco, who gave away the penalty kick with that handball. Now Town keeping a bit of pressure on the right-hand side. Dying embers of the first half, given away though by Emmanuel, and Perot should play this one away for Southampton up towards halfway, and it's the boos from the home fans who you can hear as the referee Thomas Bramall blows for half-time, and Grimsby Town have got the shock half-time lead. Gavin Holohan with his 6th goal of the season, and it's Southampton 0, Grimsby Town 1, and we're on for an almighty shock tonight. Gary Croft.
Absolutely, you know, it's all going to plan, isn't it, so far? I mean, it's exactly what we thought. Southampton dominated possession, patient in their build-up. Town being reasonably organised, but they've got the talent. They've cut Town open a few times, created some chances, but we've kept ourselves in the game. Everyone's performed. The keeper's pulled off a couple of saves, and then lo and behold, a little bit of a lucky one, but good play down the right-hand side to start it. Just a bit of a loose cross in, but completely miscalculated by Lianco, who ducks under it, nearly creates a chance for Clifton, who has a touch. Keeper makes a good save when none of us are looking for the penalty. But on the replay, it's quite obvious, actually. We just don't see it in real time. His arm's out to the side, and after seeing it once or twice, I was absolutely convinced. It took him a long time, but the shock's on. The shock's on, but there's going to be a long way to go. You can see straight away after Town scored, the way Southampton came at them. They're going to be throwing everything at this, but they've got the crowd on the back now, and Town have got lifted their fans. We could be in for a very exciting 45.
Well, you thought it was a penalty at the time. Burnsy, what do you think?
I saw it hit his hand. He's missed the header. He's tried to stoop, missed the header. He's he's got himself in a taffle. His head's sort of bent down across his shoulder. The ball's gone past the head, caught his trailing arm. If I'm honest, nobody appealed for it. If I'm honest, in real time I thought that's hit his hand. Still don't think it's a penalty. That's a cruel decision, and they took so long to do it. I nearly had the discussion with you about VAR before the game, say I hate it. I might quite like it now. But it's got to be clear and obvious, and that's a cruel penalty, but you take it all day long, because those are the rules and that's the decision.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is a handball, and I think that he does misjudge it. I think his arm's slightly out to the side. It wasn't down by his side, it was slightly out, and I think that maybe subconsciously when he's ducking for that header and the ball ends up curling behind him, he kind of half knows he's missing it. And I don't know if you just put your arm out there in hope, or just a natural sort of thing, because you're thinking, oh well, if I can't stop him, I'll stop it with something, and your arm goes out. He certainly hit it, and if there had been a player behind him and he had that thought in his head, it kind of half looks like a deliberate block to me. And I think that's what the ref saw. It took him a while to decide. He had a good think about it. I think that's a good decision. And I'll be interested to see what any other pundits think about that one. But I thought it was a penalty.
It's a debate. Matt, where are you on it? He was keeping quiet there, Crofty, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I genuinely am ambivalent about it, Burnsy, because was it clear? Was it obvious?
No. Nobody appealed. I genuinely did see it and thought,
I'll tell you what, though, if a Town player was coming in behind him there to head that in, and he'd done that, I think it's a penalty all day. I just think maybe because there was no one coming in behind him that no one was really concerned. We were more concerned with what Harry did after with his touch and nearly scoring. So we was like, play on, can we score again? And we didn't look back at it. But if it had just been that and we'd seen how awkwardly he'd stopped the ball, it wasn't his head. I think it is a penalty.
Right,
I'm going to stick with my decision.
Decided it was. The officials have decided. Crofty's right. The officials decided it's a penalty. How well did Gavin Holohan, pressure situation, stick that away?
I know, yeah, and I was looking at his run-up where he looked like he was going to stick it. His run-up was reasonably straight, which would have been a bit of an awkward one to stick it out to the keeper's left, and maybe the keeper thought he was playing games with him with his run-up, but he sort of hit it exactly where he's running up to. It would have been awkward to hit it to the right, and cool penalty though. I mean, imagine the pressure there that you're under with all them fans behind you, and you know it's the moment. It could be the only time it is the only time Town have had a clean strike on goal, but he put it away. Brilliant play.
I'm trying to work out when the quarter-final draw is. It's tonight, isn't it?
It's tonight.
But it's in a game that's only 14 minutes old, 11 minutes past 8 tonight, Sheffield United and Spurs. Just to remind you, it's an unbelievable scoreline. FA Cup 5th round, OK? The last 16 of the FA Cup, Southampton 0, Grimsby Town 1 at half-time. Burnley of the Premier League in the Lancashire derby, 33 minutes in, 0-0 with Fleetwood. Brilliant from Fleetwood. Manchester United and West Ham, 23 minutes in, 0-0. Sheffield United and Spurs 0-0. If you've had a view of the game, or had a view of the penalty, drop me a tweet at BBC Burnsy, copy in at Humberside Sport, and give us your view on it. Would love to hear from you. You can drop us a text, 81333, start your message RH, a WhatsApp, 08000 321 333, start your message RH. If you want to even give us a ring now, 08000 665959, or drop us an email, humberside.sport@bbc.co.uk. let us know. We're not going to get a breath back. It's remarkable, really. What did you make? Oh, we have seen a replay, Crofty. What are you seeing?
Just seeing a really focused Gavin Holohan there, looking full of confidence and slotting it away there. Brilliant play. I bet they've enjoyed that one in the commentary box. We certainly did.
What overall, what have you made of it? Straight away I thought Southampton are up for this. They're not nervous, they've got a purpose about them, and they were at it. Town lived on the edge a little bit in that first half.
Yeah, I think Town have been, they've worked really hard. They've created a lot of their own luck, but in the first 10 minutes they looked like they could slice through us at will, and then all of a sudden it changed slightly. Town seemed to be able to slow them down a bit, put in that extra pass, and they weren't under as much pressure, started winning a few tackles in midfield, but not really penetrating into their box. They defended really well. They were first onto stuff, not giving us any space up front, and then when they come forward, they just look like they've got that past, that little bit of movement that's just too quick and too sharp for Town. They tried to isolate Luke Waterfall a few times one-on-one, but they've been there for each other, this Town back five. Every time they've gone past one, there's been another there blocking. If not, it's been the keeper. It's been a real sterling performance back there, and we've really limited the Premier League team to very little throughout that 45, I think, regardless of the possession, which I said it'd be about 60 to 70%. Well, I think it's been even higher. I think it's been 75% at one stage. I think maybe Town pulled it back slightly to 70-30, but it's what we expected, and it's what the manager would have expected, and that's how he set them up. And fair play, he set them up with a game plan, and so far it's working.
Steve B, who's in Hessel, my manor, says up the Mariners. He's a Town fan, I know that. He says it was a penalty. We're watching the game. We've got a feed of it live. Definitely was a penalty. Andy Yo-Yo says, really enjoying the commentary and coverage this evening. What a great first half of the Mariners. From the Mariners, says Andy Yo-Yo. My pal Alan Knocker is listening in Peru tonight to us. Alan, evening to you and the family. I'll try in all the excitement. I put a camera on the away end. I was watching the penalty, but hopefully my hand wasn't too shaky on the away end, so I'll try and tweet that at some point, of the fans just maybe going up in disbelief. The support we knew would be magnificent. It has been, hasn't it?
Yeah, and you know, I mean, them fans there all the way from Grimsby on a weekday, 4,500 of them. They loved that moment. It was, look, you know, it was crazy. There was stuff going everywhere, ariatics all over the place, and they've been magnificent throughout the game, haven't they? Kick-off, everything. You know, it's a fantastic night for them to remember already.
It will be one of the footballing highlights of their lives, that goal. Shame it's at the other end, but they'll always remember that. At least, whatever happens in the second 45, they've had that moment. 4,300 of them together, seen Town score at a Premier League club.
Absolutely. And as for the home fans now, they've got to try and lift their fans. Well, there's been nothing from the home fans, has there, all through that half to get them going, just boos as they walked off. And they must be thinking, you know, more of the same. You know, it's been hugely disappointing for them. And this team's going to be under a lot of pressure coming out this second half to beat Town. It's what's expected of them. And, you know, if they don't do it, you might start hearing some more boos.
So Wednesday night sports special, we're just going to talk through the half-time in excitement. You weren't bursting or anything like that, were you, Croft? Are you going to stick with me?
Yeah, I'll have to stick with you until now. I'll just go, I think.
yeah.
I've warmed me up.
Oh, hold on, I'll just open that pocket up for you, sitting behind me. But it is a Wednesday night sports special. It's turning out to be very, very special indeed. In the FA Cup, fifth round, as Matt was saying, they've not been to the quarter-finals since 1939. They are 45 minutes plus VAR disruptions. God, I love VAR. I don't really. Away from the quarter-finals and the late draw after the Sheffield United Spurs game, which was an 8 o'clock kickoff, I think. This a 7:15 kickoff. So we shall see what transpires. I noticed Paul Hurst just before the break there, cool, calm and collected, making notes on a piece of paper or on his pad. From his point of view, what do you do now?
You come out very sharp, very lively, aware of what's going to happen next. Southampton are going to throw the kitchen sink at this. When they come out this half, they will be sharper, focused, and they will be throwing everything at Town, taking chances, overloading, leaving them short at the back. Town have got the chance to maybe hit them on the break. I think that's what Town have got to be like. But I think Southampton are absolutely going to go for it. I think you're going to see players flooding forward at every opportunity.
The massive cheer there. There was a mascots race, and then two little youngsters, one in the kit of Southampton, one in the kit of Grimsby Town, ran from the other side of the field, each with a ball, and the Southampton lad was about 20 yards ahead, going at pace into the box, and the little Grimsby lad thought, I'm going to get beaten here unless I shoot from about 25, 30 yards out. And it just trickled over the line in front of the Town fans, and they've gone balmy. I don't know who he is, but that was a wonderful moment. The signs are there.
Well, absolutely, he won't forget that, will he, that young lad? But
scoring in front of 4,000 of your own fans.
Absolutely, and that was a proper cheer, wasn't it? He got the whole lot of them.
Yeah, absolutely superb. So let me ask you this: do you, because they're going to come at you, Southampton, do you just defend deep, get it and belt it up the park, or do you try and play?
I think you probably do early on if that's what's required.
Belt it up the park or play?
Well, I think you know, you don't needlessly hit it up the park. If you've got time on the ball, then you pick your pass. You've got to try and retain possession and hit them on the break when you can. They'll be leaving themselves short at the back. There's going to be opportunity for Town, but to relieve pressure, if that's what we're under early on, we've got to turn them and then get up the pitch as soon as we can, get reorganised, make them put them extra passes and make it difficult for them to play through us. And if they're going to get anywhere, they're going to get down the sides, not through the middle of us. And, you know, there's no doubt about it. Southampton are going to create some chances this half. They're going to. They did in the first half, and I think they'll be even more dangerous this half pushing forward. But I think there'll be a chance for Town on the break.
Andrew, who's listening in Louth, says you must feel seasick watching all those haddocks. It's that they are at the far end. They'll be playing or they'll be having Town in blue play towards them in this second half. Do talk to us all the way through. You can drop us a tweet at BBC Bernsey if you've got something to tell us. If you've seen it, Stephen Hessel says definitely a penalty. He's watched the TV pictures. Crofty's absolutely 100%. And the referee was, after watching it, after the the VAR officials picked it out. Who stood out for you in the Town side first?
To be fair, it's been mainly defensive, hasn't it? It's defensive organisation. I think.
I've liked the combination with the Fetty and Emmanuel on the right.
Yeah, I think they've got a bit going.
There's a bit of joy there.
I'd like to see Emmanuel get the ball a little bit early, but the defending well. Emmanuel's done a good job down there. Both sides, you know, everyone's done the job so far very effectively, but we're not seeing anyone really on the ball too much. I think Hunt wants to get on it, control things, but he hasn't had enough of it. McAtee can't quite get into the game, but the general organisation and the team spirit amongst them has been on show, and that's been one of the, it's been the most important thing.
McAtee's a sort of player who will always have a moment, though, won't he?
Absolutely. I said he'll find his spot. He looks around for the space at the moment because he's a team player. He looks what the danger is. He's looking for the danger. He's dropping in on players and organising it. It's impressive. I like him, I do, McAtee. I think he works really hard. But then when Town are in possession, I think he finds holes. He always finds the holes. Always managed to find an area where he can receive the ball and cause some damage. He's not managed to do that yet. Southampton are managing him quite well, and he's been doing a lot of defensive work, but he will have his moment.
The legs from the bench are going to be important, aren't they? Because this is going to be a tiring 45.
Yeah, I think so. But, you know, if we can make Southampton go from side to side and shuffle along, hopefully, yeah, that can make us conserve a bit of energy just by getting in position early, being organised, and just make them go sideways and backwards. The more we can make them do that, the easier the night will be for Town.
I'm wondering, given Southampton are out substantially more early, it's all relative, than the Mariners, whether Ruben Sellers, who's a rookie manager, he's only, 3 games into his career. He's had a little bit of managerial experience and elsewhere, sort of around Europe. I think he worked with the ex-Town player David Nielsen out in Denmark at one point. He's sent them out early, hasn't he?
Well, he has.
He's not a happy bunny.
Well, no. But imagine if he sent them out full fired up and they're ready to go, and then all of a sudden they have to stand around for 2 or 3 minutes waiting for Town. He'd probably lose a bit of that impetus, maybe. And maybe that's why Town have delayed coming out until now.
Well, I don't know about you. I don't know whether... I wish they'd invented scratch and sniff radios, because you can sniff FA Cup history in the air at St Mary's. As Grimsby Town in blue emerge for the second half, they have a penalty from Gavin Holohan that has them 45 minutes away from the FA Cup quarter-finals. Southampton 0, Grimsby Town 1. Your expert summariser, Gary Croft. Your match commentator on BBC Radio Humberside, Matt Dean.
Thanks very much, Bernsey. It'll be Southampton to get us underway in the second half. And it's set up, isn't it? I think quite a few people have felt that the Mariners haven't had the credit in previous rounds when they've dumped out higher division opposition. They'll get it tonight if they do it here. I'm sure of it, Crofty. Back underway, and it's Southampton with the ball in defence. And they like to build patiently from the back, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They knock about quite well. Town are organised, but when they get that switch on from right to left or left to right early on, that's when we get stretched.
Mara trying to make progress down the right-hand side for Southampton, but it's a throw-in for Town, who have Max Crocombe in goal. Back three of Mishia Fete, Luke Waterfall and Niall Marr. Josh Emanuel wide right, Anthony Glennon wide left as the wing-backs. Alex Hunt on a yellow card, he needs to be careful. Gavin Holohan and Harry Clifton, John McAtee and Danilo Orsi. And the Southampton lineup, 3-2-1-3 their formation. Alex McCarthy, the goalkeeper, making a rare start this season between the sticks tonight for the Saints. They have a back four of Kyle Walker-Peters, Douye Saletar-Sarr, easy for me to say, Lianco and Roman Perot, Carlos Alcaraz and Romeo Lavia just in front of that defence. Mislav Orsic behind front three of Adam Armstrong, Seko Mara and Musa Gineppo. I'll give you the benches in a moment, but Southampton coming into the penalty area. Gineppo on the left boot gets a shot in, and it's deflected off the heels there of Adam Marr and gone behind for a corner to Southampton.
Yeah, running at Glennon there, sent him the wrong way, looked like he was going to go outside, came back on his left first time. He's done that throughout the game, hit his shot, I think it came off Hunt's feet and just deflected past the near post. Max Crocombe completely wrong-footed.
Corner then right side. It will be an in-swinger, and there's a little bit of pushing going on between Glennon and Orsic before this corner comes in, and the referee's unhappy with it, and he's going to come across just to try and defuse that situation. 2 minutes into the second half, and it's 1-0 to the Mariners, and it's the Town fans you can hear. Southampton looking to strike back early stages of this second period. The corner will eventually come in, swung in towards the near post, headed away by McAtee, back goalwards from a Southampton head, and it's Max Crocombe who can catch the ball and allow his penalty area to clear. Southampton had a goal chalked off in the first half for an offside. I think we're all in agreement that that was the correct decision. Away downfield by Crocombe, trying to release the Mariners at the other end, but it's straight through to his opposite number, Alex McCarthy. And then
well, I mean, the Southampton defender has just swung out and connected with Orsi. Now I think Orsi's made quite a meal of that, but this is a penalty. He's given a penalty. Well, oh my goodness, he swung out at Orsi. I saw him do it. Orsi's made an absolute meal of it, but he's booked the player and given a penalty.
Well, Saleta Sarr was tugging at the back of Orsi's shirt as the play broke into the penalty area, and then they square up to one another, and Saleta Sarr just with the back of his hand whacks Orsi in the back, and Orsi's gone down. The referee spotted it. Is that a penalty kick in your view?
No, it's not that time, to be fair, and I think Orsi's made a meal of it. But yeah, what a stupid thing to do by the player. You know, if the referee has got a decision to make, he's made the referee make a decision about something very trivial, and he's thought about it again. You can see him walking about 5, 6, 7 paces as he's thinking, what do I do here? I've just seen a player lash out another player, hit him square in the back. The player's gone down, Orsi's gone down, he isn't it, he has milked it, but it's a decision. Now is he going to go back to VAR?
That's what I'm wondering. Does he go to VAR? The fact there's a delay here suggests probably, but it's not flashed up.
No, he's pointed again to the spot.
Penalty or not, Burnsy?
He's flapped an arm at him in the back. There was a foul outside the box. He was pulling him back, but, you know, he's given it. It's brave refereeing. Holohan again,
was it a penalty kick, though?
Harsh.
I think that would go down as a soft penalty kick if you spoke to the manager after the game. We'll debate whether it was a penalty or not for a long time to come. But at the end of the first half, Gavin Holohan struck a blow to Southampton. He's got an opportunity, early stages of the second half, to do the same, to extend Grimsby Town's lead. In comes the Irishman on the right foot, and he's done it again! Gavin Holohan skids to his knees before the 4,300 travelling Mariners supporters. He's got the look of the Irish on his side tonight. It's a debatable penalty kick. We'll talk about it for a long, long time to come. But 5 minutes into the second half, we are on for an almighty FA Cup upset. Not since pre-Second World War have Grimsby Town made it through to the FA Cup quarter-finals. But tonight, they could well be the story. Look at those Harry Haddocks bouncing up and down. It's Southampton of the Premier League 0, Grimsby Town of League 2 2.
It's absolute carnage down there, Matt. What a penalty. Superb nerves. Gavin Holohan, nerves of steel to take another one against the same keeper. Goes the same way, but this time lifts it up. The keeper kind of reads him this time, but he's gone down low, and that penalty's lifted high above him. What a penalty, and what an absolute crazy penalty. What on earth is the defender thinking there, lashing out at him? He's just given the referee such a decision to make there. I don't think the ref had a choice. If you swing and hit someone, no matter how hard, it's something to discipline someone for. You know, it's going to be something. And there you have it, 2-0, Matt. Crazy.
2-0. It is a crazy, crazy old game, isn't it? Now Southampton have got to keep their nerve to try and find their way back into this contest. Have they got it within themselves? I'm not so sure. I'm really not so sure. They're rocking. They've got the ball though, and Ginepro wriggles his way past one challenge, and over the halfway line he comes with his pass. And now Alcaraz spreading it away to the left-hand side. We have a game on our hands. Perot, the left-back, steps over the ball. Blue shirts behind it at the moment. Town defending. Cross comes into the Town penalty area. Missed by Waterfall. Shot by Ginepro at the edge of the Town penalty area. Blocked out by Town. Comes down into the midfield. And Southampton will spread it away to the right-hand side. The leggy Ginepro going back to Walker-Peters, the right-back. To Ginepro once more. And the Mali international winger in towards Walker-Peters, pulls the ball back, missed, then it comes back post, Perot with a shot, and he sinks the ball beyond the goal and into some hands behind Max Crocombe's sticks. 2-0 to the Mariners.
Well, there you go again, Southampton coming at him, and that extra goal's actually stoked up the Southampton fans, hasn't it? It's created a bit of an atmosphere now because they're getting behind them. They know they need something. One goal, the crowd's kind of nervously just waiting. Now they're fired up saying, get yourself going, and they have done there. Walker-Peters again getting round the back of Town, chopped the cross to the back stick, and a poor finish there in loads of time there from Perot. Skies it.
So what do you do if you're Paul Hurst now down there? What would your instruction be to the players?
Calm them down, get them organised, get them back in. Don't try and win the ball high up now, just drop in a little bit. Obviously we can't sink too deep, but don't get caught out, don't get trying to win the ball too high up.
Southampton with Walker-Peters, right-footed ball to the edge of the Town penalty area, right-hand side, cushioned down by Armstrong, faced by Waterfall, back up the touchline to Ginepro, and now this is Walker-Peters, the right-back, tucked in off the right-hand side, can't quite get the cross in, so feeds it away to Ginepro. He will attack the Mariners shirts ahead of him, now with Walker-Peters just inside the angle. Town need to keep the calm here. Cross comes in, away by Holohan, also away to the left-hand side, and it'll fall away for a Southampton throw. 8.5 minutes gone in the second half. Here at St Mary's, it is Southampton 0, Grimsby Town 2. But it's Southampton with the pressure, and this is Ginepro. Can he get the cross in? He can't. It's straight against Glennon. Back onto Ginepro. He can't quite believe it. He's right in the linesman's ear as he yelps out to him, and that's going to be a Grimsby Town throw.
It ought to be there, like Glennon came through the player and the ball there. They've just got enough on the ball for the linesman to ignore the foul and the referee, and gets the throw in.
Here is Marl then with it, and he tosses it up the touchline under the floodlights here in Hampshire this evening. Here is Alcaraz to Walker-Peters. Now Marl cutting it out. Walker-Peters wants to take the throw in quickly. They can't allow Southampton to get a foothold in this game. They have to stand firm to frustrate them and frustrate the home fans who've been quiet, haven't they, tonight? Lots of empty red seats around St Mary's. We're trying to pick an opening here out of the home team, and the ball is midway through the Town half. Perot towards the D of the Town penalty area, skims off the foot of Waterfall. Town half away. Walker-Peters now facing the wrong way, now turns and then guides it down the touchline to Ginepro. He's from a standing start coming into the Town penalty area, then tumbles to the ground under the challenge from Clifton. It's cleared away though, upfield. What did you think to that?
Well, they got the ball past the two players there. Clifton got himself turned relatively quickly, so I think he's just running alongside him, and they both kind of went to the ground. The referee was having none of it, he could see everything.
Walker-Peters now shuffling down the touchline, closed down by two blue shirts, so has to peel back up the line. And the ball is with Southampton on the halfway line now with Lianco. Centre circle, Saleta Sarr touching it off into Orsic. Orsic might try the cross here from a deep line position, instead switches it across the park to Walker-Peters, who gets a head on the ball, prevents it from going out for a throw, drops at the feet of Glennon, and he clears up towards the halfway line. Heavy touch there by Lianco, and it's out of play for a Town throw.
Well, Town can breathe easier again now. Just need to slow it down, have a breath. When the ball goes forward there, we've got to try and retain it still. We can't just be hoisting everything up there and hoping it doesn't come back, because this Southampton team are properly fired up now and dominating possession and switching the ball well.
And you've hit the nail on the head there. They need to play spoiling tactics now, don't they, really? They need to try and break up the play wherever they can. Town away down the left-hand side, though, from the throw-in. Clifton, can he keep it in? The flag's gone up as the ball comes into the penalty area. And it will be a free kick to Southampton. You got a bit excited there, Crofty, didn't you? But
yeah,
Clifton was in a bit of space, wasn't he?
Yeah, he just went a bit too early, didn't he, Clifton, there? Otherwise, he was sort of in down that right-hand side. Just need to see Town enjoy a bit of possession now. Hopefully just keep it a little bit and keep them in their half.
Holohan's goal timed at 50 minutes here at St Mary's tonight, the second of his 2 goals. 2 penalty kicks then are the big talking point tonight, or talking points I should say. Back on halfway with Saletta Sarr, the Southampton centre-half. Flights one over the top of the Mariners' defence. Armstrong kind of getting round the back, down by the corner flag. Back comes Emmanuel, and trying to hold off Armstrong. And it's struck against Emmanuel for a corner to Southampton. And they are clearly agitated. They're ruffled. You can tell. Whenever the ball goes out, they try and get it back quickly. They're very, very desperate to get play back underway urgently. Corner kick for Southampton, who are going to make a change in a moment's time. In fact, it's going to be a double change, and James Ward-Prowse, one of those players coming on. In comes the corner, then near post, Town clear away, breaks to Ginepro, long way from goal, feeds it away to Orsic, the corner taker again, level with a Town penalty area, backwards as square is Alcaraz, and it's pushed back in the direction of the halfway line. Walker-Peters roams forward though, midway inside the Town half, sends the ball rolling out to the right-hand side to Perot. Perot then shifting it back. Cross for Southampton to the edge of the Town penalty area, straight to Holohan, and then lofted away by Alex Hunt. And Town win a free kick there as Clifton goes to ground, and we are going to see this double change for Southampton. The other player to come on is Samuel Adozie in this double change. Now, this is enough to strike fear into you, isn't it? When you see Ward-Prowse come off the bench.
Well, we know it can turn a game, can't he, Ward-Prowse? They haven't wasted much time doing it. They've dominated really since Town went further in front, but they've had to take action. They need that little bit more quality around the box. The balls coming in have been poor. Town managing to clear everything so far. First to the ball, but we know he's got the quality, he's got that improvement that they need.
And Town have got a man down injured at the moment. So Dave Moore comes on. I bet they've not seen many physios quite like Dave Moore here in recent seasons in the Premier League.
He gets there in his own time, Dave.
And I mean that in the greatest of respect. He's on anyway. And it's Alex Hunt, isn't it, down injured at the moment?
Down there.
Yep.
They'll just be saying, just stay down a little bit, mate. We'll just waste a bit of time here.
What did you see there?
I didn't see anything, to be honest with you. I think maybe, it was maybe Clifton knocked the ball over to him, did he? And he just got caught just when he won the foul.
Well, looks like Hunt's going to be all right. And Town will have the ball.
There's a good time just to slow things down for Town, get organised, have a little chat from the manager, have a little drink.
See a stiff one.
Well, Town are also thinking about making a change as well. Morris is coming on, maybe he's thinking it's getting a bit more physical, or is he going to send him on to do a job on Ward-Prowse?
I do wonder.
Oh no, he's coming back off now.
Well, he's all stripped off though, isn't he? So yeah. I wonder how long he's going to wait, if he's going to wait at all. He's going to take his bib from the Town bench, Bryn Morris. He was all ready to come on. What happened there then? What was it to do with the injury?
I think it was just maybe Hunt. He thought it was going to be worse than what it was, but
coming together of players involving Mishiafete.
Maybe it's a thought already anyway. To maybe bring Hunt on to look after the changes that Southampton have made.
Possibly so. Southampton with Walker-Peters, the full-back, over the halfway line, but Town have worked hard to get men behind the ball, so switch centrally to Lianco and through Saletta Sarr to Ginepro, to Saletta Sarr, tiptoeing his way forward. The Croatia international on now to Alcaraz, edge of the centre circle, back to the halfway line. Southampton with the ball at the moment. Good feet by the substitute Adozie, formerly of Manchester City's academy. Crossing chance here maybe for Ward-Prowse, decides though to go backward to square to Lianco, the defender in the Town half, down the right edge of the box to Adozie, attacking the Mariners, and can he get the cross in? It's blocked there by Anthony Glennon. Ball spins away for a Southampton corner.
Yeah, look very comfortable at the moment. Southampton sort of slicing the way through Town at will. They just can't get them crosses in there. Good work by Glennon there to block that one.
It'll be an away swinger from Ward-Prowse, right-hand side. In it comes for Southampton. It's dangerous. Away in the air by Waterfall. Towering header, meets it unopposed. And Hunt will play up towards the halfway line. And sprinting onto this ball is John McAtee, but the ball is intercepted by Ginepro, and Southampton will thrust forward with Mara. Mara holds the ball up and then gives it away to Harry Clifton. Clifton to Michiafete, and then into the Southampton half with his pass to Josh Emmanuel, who evades the challenge, and he's into the Southampton territory. Level with a penalty here. He sends one high towards the back post over the head of John McAtee. The oohs and the ahs are from the Town fans. In comes the cross from the Town left-hand side, this time by Glennon. Spat out by the Southampton defence, and up towards the halfway line is Mara. Now Southampton can cause problems here. They're flowing forward. Into now to Walker-Peters outside the penalty. A little nudge there was there by Marr. Town try and get it away through Holohan. And between Marr and Holohan, they get it away, and Clifton now up towards the halfway line. Did you think there was a nudge in there, a foul?
Yeah, I think Marr's used his body quite well a few times now, and I think he did it again there on that occasion.
Alsey can't control it. It allows Southampton to pour forward. Alcaraz in the middle of the park. Shifts it off to his left. Maybe Perot with a shot. We know he's got a decent one on him. It's blocked though by Gavin Holohan, is it? No, it's Alex Hunt who's thrown his body in the way there. And it's gone for a Southampton throw. Perot takes it quickly. This is breathless stuff, isn't it now? Suddenly the game is completely different. Grimsby leading 2-0 here at Southampton, and we're on for an almighty upset. But still, there's a long way to go. 18 minutes played in the second half on BBC Radio Humberside. Lianco with a stray ball. It'll be recovered just on halfway by Ward-Prowse. And now Perot back to the halfway line to Ward-Prowse. What are you thinking, Crofty?
Well, it's just what to comment on there. There's so many things going on. Town having a great chance down the right-hand side. These two combining down here really, really well. But the cross, McAtee get up far too early, but good pressure. But then again, here comes Southampton. It's just end-to-end. It's fantastic stuff.
Here is Ginepro. Moussa Ginepro dancing on the ball, going one way, then the other, and out to the left side to the full-back Perot. And now Lianco. Lianco side-footing away to the right. Angle pass into Adozi. Little step over. All tricks here is Adozi. Cross comes in, away in the air by Waterfall. Falls back to a red and white striped shirt. Southampton now coming on the left-hand side. Maybe a crossing chance for Ginepro at the byline. Going with him, though, stride for stride, is Josh Emmanuel. He sticks in a long leg, does Emmanuel. At the byline, it's a corner kick for Southampton, who trail the Mariners 2-0, but they've got the flag kick left-hand side.
Emmanuel, brilliant work again. He's doing some unbelievable work up and down here, Emmanuel, at the moment. Brilliant defending there to block that cross.
Ward-Prowse has got the quality to put this onto a Southampton head. Over it comes, it's beyond the back post, and an easy chance there for Zaleta Sarr, who's pulled one back for the Premier League club. It was far too easy for the Croatia international, who side-puts it in. And Grimsby Town know they're in a game now. If they didn't before, it's Southampton 1, Grimsby Town 2.
Wow.
20 minutes into the second half.
How on earth has he found so much space around the back there? Someone's just let him go completely. It's a side foot. I thought at first with the height on that ball we might be seeing the keeper, but I think it drops down from really high. How Ward-Prowse strikes the ball, he whips it, and it dipped right to the back stick, and it was a real easy finish. He had to keep his eye on it, but he had no one marking him at all.
Well, they're going to have to do it the hard way, aren't they, Grimsby Town, if they're going to do it tonight, and they're making a change. Coming on is Ryan Taylor to replace Danilo Orsi. How do you think he went tonight?
I think he's worked really hard. He has a poor service, really, like you'd expect. Everything up to him has been a relative fight, but he's got hold of things when he can, and got the penalties, made it awkward for them Southampton defenders.
My first thought on the corner, where's the keeper?
That's what I thought, and I've just watched it again, and the ball sort of drops down. It's like he whips it up, and then it drops down so quickly at the end that I wonder whether he can come for it. But yes, it was that sort of range, wasn't it, for the keeper?
And the defenders looked at him.
Yeah.
They turned round and it was like hands spread saying, "Where are you?" was my initial impression.
I think they'll be asking them questions in the dressing room after, perhaps, but Town's still ahead.
More substitutions here for Southampton. Another double change. Lavia is coming off, as is Armstrong. Walcott is one of the players who's coming on for Southampton, as is Joe Aribo. So that double change is made to try and get Southampton back on terms. Walcott very much in the autumn of his career now, at the age of 33. But we all know about his career. He's had a glittering career. Played in the World Cup in 2006, Euro 2012 as well with England. Southampton coming forward. Here's Holohan though, scorer of both Town goals tonight from the penalty spot, intercepts the pass, ball rolls away for a Southampton throw. They've had to wake up in this second half since that second goal has gone in. Yeah. They've just got that bit more urgency about the play, haven't they?
Absolutely, they're pushing more players on. Town really struggling to sort of get out of their own box at the moment, out of their own half.
I mentioned Aribo, he's a Nigeria international. Town coming forward on the left-hand side though with Harry Clifton. His cross is blocked by Lianco, and it's out for a Town throw. Midway through the second half, we're at the three-quarter point of the game. It's 2-1 to the Mariners, but they're going to have to dig in here if they're going to make a bit of history. It's Marr with a throw, and they were never going to have it all their own way tonight, were they, really? And Marr, once again, stuffs the ball up his blue shirt and is going to hurl this throw into the penalty area. In it comes, flicked on at the front post, almost comes through to McAtee. Then a shot is rifled in by Clifton. It's blocked inside the Southampton penalty area. Cannons up into the air. Clifton back inside, away by Ward-Prowse, and now the chase is on. And Walcott is after this ball. Holohan's back, but he's lost his footing. He felt that he was fouled. Walcott coming forward. But there is Waterfall to make the challenge, and how he needed to. Southampton probing at the edge of the penalty area, right side. A crossing chance here for Southampton, maybe. Instead, they spread it in field. Aribo going back into Ward-Prowse. Walker-Peters is there. Aribo goes the long way around, gets the cross in, headed away by Marr, with that white 31 on the back of his blue shirt. Southampton keeping the pressure on though. Walker-Peters into the penalty area, running at the Town defence, at the byline. Can he stand it up? Goes front post with a cross, and it's turned behind by Walcott. It's got a deflection. Corner ball, Southampton.
Well, they're coming at some all angles down that right-hand side, aren't they? It's real hard work for Town now. Got loads of defending to do here. Another ball in.
Corner ball then, Southampton right-hand side, up go the heads, it's helped away, and there's a foul there on Luke Waterfall, who is on the ground, prone on the ground at the moment, just getting back up to his feet, or at least trying to, but he's going to take his time, isn't he?
He needs to give the Town players a rest. You can see some heavy legs starting to sort of happen in the Town sort of midfield there. Gavin Holohan chasing back, he had about 4 or 5 yards on Walcott, didn't he? But he caught him up and forced the error. Luckily Luke Waterfall got back, but they keep probing and probing down that right hand side, and they keep getting in.
Ball is with Max Crocombe from the free kick, scoops it forward over the halfway line. Taylor tries to hold off his man, but it was done illegally, so says the referee. I just thought he stood his ground, didn't he?
6 of one, half a dozen the other. It's a shame really, because McAtee had made a run off him.
So this free kick with Southampton then, 26 minutes gone in the second half. The onus is on Southampton to keep the pressure on, to try and find a levelling goal. Alcaraz on the ball, right side of the centre circle, and it'll go out towards the left to the latest goal scorer in this game, Saleta Sarr, the defender. Off to Gineppo, down the touchline, a crossing chance for Southampton, and it comes to Walcott. Surely used his hand there as it came off his boot. Cleared away by Town. And Crofty, you were appealing like you were playing out there. Here's Gineppo, comes in field, gets away from McAtee, sells a dummy to Holohan. Town got lots of bodies behind the ball. Back to Lianco, the defender, long way out, it's struck, blocked at the edge of the box by Waterfall. It'll drop away for a Southampton throw-in deep inside the Mariners' half, which is taken quickly to Aribo. Back to the right-hand side. Southampton playing keep ball at the moment. They've got it midway inside the town half with Ward-Prowse. Alcaraz away to the right-hand side to Walker-Peters. He gets the cross and it's dangerous in towards the front post, but there is Waterfall with an absolutely vital interception. He's got it away from Walcott, but it's a corner, another one for the home side. Southampton, with their bodies coming forward here for this corner kick, are really, really looking to turn the screw here. Can Town keep them out? Cross comes in from Ward-Prowse from the corner. It's dealt with by the Mariners, but only temporarily. Ward-Prowse getting the cross in, stands one up towards the back post. Lianco is in there, it goes across the face of goal and out for a goal kick to the Mariners, who lead 2-1 still here at Southampton.
Yeah, Lianco going mad there because he's had that goal bounder. I think Effetti came on there and challenged him, and he sort of headed it goal bound. It headed off Effetti, and I think when it crossed the goal, he just missed someone's toe by inches.
We are seeing another change for the Mariners. Bryn Morris is ready to come on. He was all ready to come on a few moments ago, wasn't he? But he's going to replace one of the midfielders. Harry Clifton's coming off first of all, and Khan is coming on, isn't he?
Yep. Well, he can
a welcome return.
Harry Clifton's come off twice now at the end of the game. It's not like him. I think he's just maybe carrying something that limits his appearance on the pitch. But Hunt, I thought, would come off. He's tired a little bit. He hasn't played that much football this year, so fresh legs for Town. I think they need it.
And he was on a yellow card, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Lest we not forget. So there's the double change then. Still 2-1 to the Mariners, and we're back underway. Ball's on in the air by Holohan. Southampton have got it again with Alcaraz, and the Argentine midfielder, £12 million from Racing Club in January, will work it away to the right-hand side. Ward-Prowse glances up, from right to left he goes with his pass, straight onto the head of Emmanuel. Town have got it back, up towards halfway to McAtee, into the centre circle now to Khan. The interception comes from Lianco, back with the Mariners though in defence, and this is Marr, smoothing it away to the left-hand side, and then back in to Bryn Morris, who works it all the way back through to the yellow-clad Max Crocombe. Forward it goes to John McAtee, facing the edge of the penalty area. Long way out, right-footed shot, got a little nick through off Lianco, but the goalkeeper was well positioned. It was only a tiny nick, wasn't it? Didn't divert away from the keeper, and he was well stationed, wasn't he, on his line to make the save. Yeah,
I'm not sure about that Lianco, by the way. I think he's having a torrid game, dropping off McAtee there, inviting the shot. Surely the keeper's got a time to close down. McAtee didn't quite catch it though, did he? And it was straight to the keeper. There's a good chance that.
Southampton looking to ask another question of Town. 16 minutes left of normal time. The Mariners 16 minutes away, but they've got to hold out here. And this is Ginepro racing at the blue shirts. Into the penalty area he comes. It's crowded. Shot comes in from Walcott, bounces up into the air to Holohan outside the box, away downfield to relieve the pressure. It'll be recycled here by Lianco. On now to Saleta Sarr, just away from Taylor. And Ward-Prowse tiptoeing his way into the centre circle, glancing around. Forward it goes, well read by Effetti, and it'll come up towards halfway, just away from Khan. He can't get there. Adozi does, and they're getting Ward-Prowse on the ball at every available opportunity to try and pull the strings in there now, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah. He's found his position as he just on that right-hand side there, and he's threading things through, just making them tick now, really dictating play in Town, not managing to really squeeze very high up the pitch now, getting deeper and deeper.
Adozi coming forward now, takes a little shove in the back there from Bryn Morris, and that's the free kick for Southampton. And the referee's going to reach for his notebook here. Morris has only been on for a couple of minutes or so, and straight away he's going to feel the force of a yellow card.
I don't think he is. I think he's letting go, to be honest with you. I think he reached in for his little spray paint. He's drawing his line. If he's chasing him now, but no, he's drawing another line where the ball was and now where the wall goes, but giving Ward-Prowse a needless free kick, really. Just lazy from a player who's just come on just to bang him in the back there. Should have chased him down, but Ward-Prowse now with a chance to deliver another free kick.
Lianco is at the back of the pack of players, waiting 5 yards into the box. In the ball comes from the free kick from the right boot of Ward-Prowse. It's headed away by the Mariners and out for a Southampton throw. Town a flooded defence here to try and keep the back door shut. Ball thrown towards Ginepro, foot in there by Holohan. Ginepro tries to drive in the cross though at the byline. and he's won his side another corner and scampers across to position the ball down into the quadrant for Ward-Prowse to try and create something. He decides to go short to Edozie with the corner ball, then it's laid just outside the box, outside of the right boot. The cross comes in for Southampton, headed away there by Holohan, and Alcaraz has gone down, but play continues. Alcaraz is holding his face, but down at the other end of the pitch, here's John McAtee racing to the edge of the Southampton penalty area for a third for Town, and he's lost control of the ball, and it's running on the goalkeeper, and McAtee knows as he slaps the turf that was a great chance to make it 3-1.
Well, what a chance that is. Perot's had an absolute nightmare as he tried to bring the ball down. He's put McAtee through on goal, and McAtee's got the pace to keep him at a distance. He just needed to get it on his left side as Perot came at him from his right-hand side and pull the trigger, but then he just has this big touch just before he needs to pull the trigger, and the keeper makes the ground up and dives on it. Oh, what a chance.
Well, hopefully we're not looking back on that and thinking that was the moment to put the game to bed.
Just needed to get it out of his feet on his left. Just take a swing at it with your left. The player's coming up from the right. Just needs to trust his left early on. But he's working hard again. He's won the ball back.
Only for a sec, because Southampton are now coming down the left-hand side with Walcott, who lost the ball over Mufete. Here's Walcott coming forward. There's a little tumble there from Ginepro. Back in midfield is Ward-Prowse, and he will spear one out towards Walker-Peters. He brings it down on his chest. Now Glennon is backing off, still with Walker-Peters. Infield, maybe a shooting chance here for Southampton, and it's hoisted over the top of the bar by the substitute, Joe Aribo. He opened up his body shape and got it all wrong.
Absolutely, yeah. He's looked to do that a couple of times now, and that time was slow out to him, so he got it, but it's a poor finish. There's time breathing space now just to slow things down. It's been so hectic. It's like Town and maybe discussing another substitute as well.
It was actually Khan who was in the full-back position rather than Glennon there, as the pressure built on Town. Ball downfield by Max Crocombe. Here is McAtee, and it's clasped away down the left-hand side by Perot. Breaks centrally to Southampton. Heavy touch there by Edozie. And Walker-Peters is being urged on by the Southampton fans to Ward-Prowse. Away to the right-hand side. This is Walker-Peters. Short pass forward to Aribo, the ex-Charlton and Rangers man, and he's been taken out there. And that will be a free kick to Southampton.
I don't want to give too many of them away. The Holohan just having a sort of nibble, trying to reach round and get the ball, but catches the ankle.
So 11 minutes to go. Southampton 1, Grimsby Town 2. In comes the free kick quickly towards Walcott, who's guided in. He found a pocket of space inside the penalty area, and Southampton from 2 down have pulled it back all square. Loose defending from the Mariners, but it's the former England international Theo Walcott who turns it in. And in this 5th round tie, it is Southampton 2, Grimsby Town 2, and the Mariners will be kicking themselves.
It just looked like he went a bit early. I think he's offside. I thought he went a bit early. I'm telling you now, that is offside. I think he just went early. I saw it, and I was waiting to say something, Matt, as you finished up. I think he's just offside. They've got to have a look at VAR. I'm surprised that he managed to get himself back round turn, because the Town players got on him. It was a bit like the goal at the weekend when he got the touch and he managed to spin his body round and get the finish. He shouldn't have been allowed, but it's an offside.
They're looking at it now, Crofty.
I just think he went a little bit too early.
And do you think this was definitely offside from what you've seen so far?
I've just seen it quickly there. I thought it. I didn't get a chance to see it till the replay just came in front of me there, and you finished what you were saying, and I can see it there. Is his shoulder offside? It's offside. 100%.
So you don't think this will stand?
No.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure about it. I'm going to put my... I said about the penalty, and I'm sure on this one.
I thought you said you were going to put your house on it. Town are going to make a change in a moment as we await this VAR decision. Croft is sure that it will be chalked off.
Somebody needs a video of them Town fans when this gets disallowed.
The referee...
There you go.
...gives the offside, and Grimsby Town have survived. The ball was positioned down onto the centre spot, and John McAtee has just picked up the ball and thrown it away.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen with that then.
Wow.
Well, Ward-Prowse was trying to get him to trouble, but that was like another goal going in. It was the equivalent of it. I don't think Town players had any idea he was offside. There was no appeals at all. Everyone just ran back, except him. I just saw the run out the corner of my eye, and I kind of sort of snapshotted the photo in my head as he received it.
Well, John McAtee's coming off here.
Yeah.
He can't last the full game, can he?
He can't, no. I don't know what that is.
It's a question
general
for
fitness
Paul
levels.
Hurst.
You know, it'd be concern for me if I was a Luton manager. You know, he should be finishing games now.
But it changes the shape now, doesn't it? Because they're bringing Evan Corey on, who's I suppose it's changed the shape. Maybe it doesn't actually. Corey's also a midfielder, isn't he?
Yeah, I think you'd see maybe Holohan just move slightly further forward.
It may shore them up a little bit more. But we've got 8 minutes left, and it's the Town fans who are dancing at the moment. Ball's headed on by Taylor, looking for Emmanuel through the middle, but it's the goalkeepers, and Southampton will play away from defence up towards the halfway line to Ginepro. How are the nerves? Here is
Chip my nails off.
Yeah, I can see. On the halfway line, it's with the home team. And Saleta Sarr on the score sheet for Southampton this afternoon, or this evening, to Lienko, who feeds it away to the right-hand side. And Adozi, Samuel Adozi, the winger, England under-20 winger, coming forward. Gets past one challenge, but then is fouled. And it's a free kick for Southampton. Too far out for a shot, this, isn't it? But the piling bodies forward.
Yeah, dangerous every time. The whip he gets on them balls are so hard to defend, and he's took another quick one, but they seem to be have a little telepathic understanding, them two, Walcott and Ward-Prowse. He's gone for another quick one, but Max Crocombe quick off his feet there, reading it.
And he's taking his time as well, as the clock ticks down. 38.5 minutes gone in the second half. And Southampton are going to bring on another substitute in the shape of Dom Ballard, who is a striker, 17-year-old striker, all stripped off and ready to come on. But Southampton have the ball at the moment. They're keeping it alive. Ward-Prowse across the park towards the substitute Joe Aribo, who is dispossessed momentarily. Ball falls for Southampton though. Adozi, Walker-Peters, Adozi back to the halfway line to Lienko. 2-1 the Mariners lead here at Southampton, and Southampton have got the ball. Challenge comes in from Glennon on Walker-Peters. Ballard still waiting to come on. The ball is dead at the moment, but I don't think we're going to get the change, are we? No, we're not. This throw-in is going to be taken. Southampton on the halfway line, trying to control the tempo. Centre circle, Saleta Sarr feeding away to the left. And this is Ginepro, Moussa Ginepro, former Standard Liège man, with his white and red shirt muddied. Ball nicked away by the Mariners on the right-hand side with Fete, who makes his way into Southampton territory, goes square to Khan, scampers forward now, on towards Taylor, back towards Khan. Oh, it's an errant ball there from Ryan Taylor, and that needed to be better. Cleared away downfield by the goalkeeper, headed forward by Bryn Morris for the Mariners. Adozi chests it down. The home fans, or rather the Town fans, wanted a free kick there. They thought it was a handball. It looked close, didn't it?
Two Southampton players getting all muddled up there, nearly getting caught out between them. The Town just trying to kill time.
Talking of time, are those the world's slowest digital clocks?
It looks like it's running out of battery, doesn't it? It's just not going fast enough for the Mariners.
Well, the change is now made by Southampton.
I'm just thinking how much time we've got left, and I told you we'd get some cramp. You've got Effety down there.
Gineppo, by the way, is the man who's come off to replaced by Dom Ballard in attack. Ballard's 2 goals to his name this season. Sorry, I'll let you get your point in here.
No, I was just going to say, Effety had a brilliant chance to break down that right-hand side there, and he sort of came back on himself, and you wondered why he didn't just continue down there, but he's struggling for cramp, bless him. There's been some effort down this right-hand side. Emmanuel's been outstanding, I think, as well.
I hope you're enjoying the commentary tonight. It's been a real roller coaster of a night, hasn't it? And we haven't finished yet. 4 minutes left of normal time. We'll have, I would think, quite a bit of added time because we've had a blizzard of substitutions, haven't we? Ball given away by Holohan inside the Southampton half, and here's Perot to Ward-Prowse, who's just sitting in front of that defence. Lianco, an angle ball away to the right-hand side. Adozi has got it at the moment, the Lewisham-born winger. Back to Lianco, spreading the ball across to Saleta Sarr, the ex-Marseille man, up towards halfway. Southampton with a ball over the top from the defender into the town penalty area. Glennon goes in with a challenge there on Walker-Peters. There looked to have been a little bit of a shirt pull, was there?
Yeah, he was trying to get round him. Glennon nearly sort of lost track of him. It was a good run, but he managed to stay on his feet and make it a fair challenge, but he nearly got round the back of him, just did enough.
Did you see a bit of a shirt pull there from Glennon? I
think it was 6-1 really. He was just trying to get, I think he was just trying to stay in front of him. I don't think he did. Looks like he loses his footing just at the end and goes down.
Looking at this angle
yeah,
here,
well
there.
Actually, yeah.
Good spot, Matt.
One of the angles didn't show it on the telly, but the other one did.
Yeah, that one did, definitely. There's a little tug on the shirt. Well, I don't think it dragged him down. He went down after the shirt tug.
We've got a monitor in front of us and we can see the town fans chanting away. Just had a shot of a youngster in a black and white striped shirt. Wonder whether he'll be going to school tomorrow. It's going to be a late night. Will it be a late night of celebration for the Mariners? It's 2-1 to Grimsby Town, dying embers of this game here at St Mary's. But the Mariners are on the brink of something special. Can they hold out? This is Ward-Prowse with the ball back to Saleta Sarr. Across the park he goes with his ball. Now middle third of the pitch, Southampton piecing together a move. Adozi runs into trouble and Bryn Morris gives it away, trying to play in an area which I'm sure Paul Hurst wouldn't want to see his team play. And that 10 yards outside the town box. This time it's shoveled away by Morris. He gets it downfield. Lianco though is there. Centre circle, Saleta Sarr. He's seen an awful lot of the ball, hasn't he, at centre half. Recycling it now for the Premier League's bottom side. Coming down the right-hand touchline, it's with the substitute Adozi. Adozi's got the ball back, wearing black gloves this evening on a chilly night here in Hampshire. Adozi trying to get the cross in. Town stick with him though. Ball just inside the angle with Southampton. Worked back for a shooting chance from a long way out, and that's Saleta Sarr. He has gone nowhere near the goal with his shot.
Well, that nearly hit the screen, didn't it? That one well over. I mean, Southampton have got to be really disappointed with what they've been doing for the last 10 or 15 minutes since these subs have come on. You've seen the ball rotated really nicely from side to side, but the town centre halves must be delighted at the lack of service that the strikers had. They've had the free kicks that they've put in, but in open play they haven't got the ball in the middle of the box at all. They've just gone in and around.
And just looking around near where we're sitting at the moment, the Southampton fans are leaving Gary Croft. Max Crocombe, by the way, being helped back up to his feet. He's got that cramp problem again, hasn't he?
Yeah. From fetching the ball, I don't know where you get cramp from if you're a keeper, but maybe wasted a few seconds and the town players can nicely recover. Not long to go.
Less than 30 seconds of normal time. The fourth official, Gavin Ward, down below, clutching the electronic board. How long are we going for then, Croft, do you reckon? 5 or 6 minutes?
4.
You reckon as many as what, 10, Burnsy?
I'm not going for that.
Can your heart stand it? Town win the ball back with Khan, racing forward to the D, into the penalty area he goes. Lianco's there, gets the touch. 6 minutes on top of the 90 to be played. 6 minutes before Grimsby Town can be on the back pages of the papers tomorrow. Here is Waterfall, a right-footed ball, boom downfield, straight through to the goalkeeper, Alex McCarthy. Town have got to play every trick in the book now, haven't they, to try and see this game out?
Yeah, absolutely. Now it's just got to stay tight, defend, see everything through, say everything out, chase everything.
Here is Saleta Sarr on the ball in defence for Southampton. The Town fans, all 4,300 of them, trying to help their team get over the line. Ball forward, bounces off Aribo. Away downfield by Bryn Morris. He just knocks it anywhere. Saleta Sarr again in defence. On now towards Ward-Prowse. Ball's on the centre circle with Alcaraz. Downfield it goes. Long pass into the penalty area. Town getting shaped back. And they're going to survive here because they were trying to get the defensive shape back, and it's been whipped wide of the far post.
That's a lovely throw ball, but Max Crocombe's gone down again with cramp, and I'm not sure what the ref can do about it. If he's struggling, he's struggling. He might ask him to go off the pitch. I don't know if you can do that with the keeper.
I tell you what, though, when it's your night, that ball goes wide of the far post, and when it's not, it nestles into the net, doesn't it?
Yeah, he just caught it with the outside of his boot. He needed some whip on that. It was a nice chop back and a great put through ball. Walker Peters been one of the outstanding players for them tonight, and he just chops back on his left foot. Needed to just whip it, but hits it straight and flies past the far post.
And a shot of on our monitor screen in front of us, we could see the new Southampton manager putting his head in his hands there. He knew that was a good chance. But it's a goal kick for the Mariners, and we've played 2 minutes of the 6 of added time. Here's Waterfall. No stranger to going through to the FA Cup quarter-finals. He did it with Lincoln, didn't he? Good few years ago now, back in 2017, and excellent challenge there by the Mariners substitute. Evan Corey snapping in with a challenge to prevent Southampton making their way downfield. Saints have got the throw in, and it's a stray ball as far as Holohan. Over the top by Bryn Morris, trying to seek out a blue-shirted teammate down the touchline in Evan Corey. And Lianco bounces off Corey, looking for the free kick there.
He just got his body
and the referee's bought it, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. A bit clumsy by. He kind of exposed the ball, then put his body in front of it and drew the foul. And Southampton come again.
And they're going to come through the Brazilian Lianco. Long ball forward on the stretches. Holohan gets there and thumped away to safety by Morris into the Southampton half. You can feel the away end bouncing at the moment, the reverberations of it. Town have got a free kick. And just looking at the Town fans, I can see one person with his inflatable fish, which is he's let the air out of it and he's swinging it round his head at the back of the stand there. And I can see other fans with their inflatable fishes high up in the air, and it's the chant of Paul Hurst's Black and White Army. Not long to go now. 3.5 minutes of the 6 of added time have been played. BBC Radio Humberside live from St Mary's. We're on the cusp of an FA Cup shock here tonight, and Town have given away the throw-in. Crofty, can you bear it?
I don't think I can, but Southampton, they're not pushing forward.
Not at the moment. Let's not talk too soon though. Saleta over the halfway line, outside of the right boot, straight onto the foot of Afete, back to Saleta, half away by Afete, and it bounces down to Emmanuel, strikes the heel of Holohan, and it sets Southampton on the front foot. Walcott across the park to Kyle Walker-Peters. Adozie the substitute. Quickly across is Glennon. Who's going to win this particular duel? Outside the penalty area, right-hand side. Adozie wriggling along the line, face of the box. Maybe a shooting chance here for Alcaraz. Forced away, though, by Holohan. A gasp goes around the ground. Still with Southampton. Ward-Prowse back towards the edge of the centre circle. Now through Aribo to the left-hand side, to the substitute Ballard, dancing towards the dead ball line. Ball in towards the front post. Town need to get it away, and they eventually do breathe a sigh of relief as it's been put behind for a goal kick. In fact, it hadn't just gone out, it had gone into Max Crocombe, and he took an age there to pounce on the ball. He was keeping it alive, wasn't he? Just to see the clock tick down another few seconds. And we're only talking about 3 or 4 seconds, but they all matter, don't they?
One of his Town players dived all around the place, and that looked like it nearly went out for a corner, deflected off a Town player, and it scooped back in by Max Crocombe, but the ref didn't see that. 60 seconds left, 60 seconds away. Grimsby Town from the quarter-finals. Here comes Khan into the penalty area, away there by Prowse. Ward-Prowse, and cleared by Walker-Peters. Ward-Prowse up towards the halfway line. And now Ballard, the substitute, shielding the ball from Marr. Taylor is there. Town are close. Away downfield. It's knocked forward by Bryn Morris. He waves blue shirts forward.
Southampton are on the brink of going out the FA Cup. Grimsby Town so close to making history. Southampton will give it one last throw of the dice. We've played the full 6 minutes. It'll go long towards Walcott. Is it going to be Grimsby Town's night? Walcott on the right boot, gets the cross in. It's going to go beyond everybody, and surely that is that. 4,300 Grimsby Town fans are waiting to celebrate. Goal kick, Max Crocombe, Gary Croft.
Well, the words just don't describe it, do they? What an absolute huge effort by the Town players. It's been awesome. It's been so difficult for them. Southampton have thrown everything at them. They've defended like heroes. What a night it could be now. The ref's got to be poised to blow the final whistle.
Surely that is that. The referee checks his watch. Max Crocombe places the ball down. It'll go forward off his right boot. The referee puts the whistle to his lips, and Grimsby Town, get this, are in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. It's a seismic, generation-spanning victory for the Mariners. The 4,300 travelling fans are bobbing up and down. They've not seen anything like this before. And that is some moment for Grimsby Town. 2 goals from Gavin Holohan, 2 penalty kicks either side of half-time have done the job. And not since 1939 have the Mariners enjoyed a moment quite like this. Neville Chamberlain was the Prime Minister of the country. I can't believe it. I'm struggling to find the words to sum up this moment, but quite frankly, listen to the fans there, who can exhale now. Southampton 1, Grimsby Town 2. 64 places divide these clubs. But on the night here at St Mary's, it is the Mariners who are prevailing, and they are through to the last 8 of the FA Cup.
Well, it was the upset. It was the upset you could see coming. And then when the build-up, the lack of Southampton fans, the change around in the team, you know, he must have just given everyone belief. And there was that belief there, and there's always been that belief that what Paul Hurst has created here, the belief in these big occasions that Town keep coming up trumps on, is what he's done at this club. He's created that spirit, that belief that we can do this. It's such a shame we can't quite convert it into league form, but this magic moment, the first for 84 years, doing the calculations the other way, Matt, is, like you said, a once-in-a-generation achievement. 5 teams from divisions higher than them, which is a record. It's amazing. It's an unbelievable performance, and these guys deserve their place in history. And what's more, Matt, it's not even over. We've got a draw to be in later tonight, and who knows what can happen. They've made it happen tonight. The Southampton team's down on their luck. They didn't put the ball in the box enough in that second half. It must have been so frustrating. But Town defended around the front of their box like absolute Trojans. They were superb. They blocked crosses. They chased everything down. There's some absolutely magnificent performances. Not like going forward, creating an awful lot, but the way they've stuck to the task, the way they've been so disciplined with the defending, they've stuck their head in where it hurts. There's people falling down with cramp all around the place. The players that come on have played the part. Everything about it is the dream scenario. We dream about things like this, Matt, don't we? Like last year, the semis, the final, everything happened for Town. It just keeps happening.
It does indeed. The Mariners go from strength to strength, and now they're enjoying the moment, the players down there. We're going to see some celebration here, I'll tell you that much. The blue-shirted Town players are now in front of the travelling supporters, and look at this. Just look at this. Burnsy.
You can't run out of words, can you? Wonderful, wonderful. Find the words, talk to us. That is one of the great footballing results. Absolutely. Regardless, and I'm not talking about Town, it's one of the great footballing results. The whole nation of any interest in football will talk about that.
Absolutely. You know, you look across all the results, it's been a bit of a question mark for me why Town haven't received a bit more attention for the run they've had, to be honest with you. I don't know whether it's gone in their favour. They've gone under the radar with this, and the pressure hasn't really piled on them, but this team is so capable of absorbing that pressure. They've been part of so many big occasions that they handle stuff like this. They handle the games like this and they see them out. And if it had been the other way around, they'd have been chasing it, they would have been going to the last minutes as well. But they did it this time the other way around. They defended, like I say, they were heroes. They were putting a body on the line, closing people down, working together. Everything that Paul Hurst has instilled in them over the years since he's been here, you can't take it away from him. He does deserve credit. You sometimes criticism because of his lack of action for substitutes or whatever you do, but he has created with his team some unbelievable memories over the last couple of years, and it's brilliant. And players deserve that. The fans deserve that, travelling all that way midweek as well to come down and support the team. It's felt like a home game. They've been unbelievable. The fans, if you're listening on the radio, you've missed a treat. It's such a shame you couldn't see it. They have been unbelievable. This home fans have been kept so quiet. They've been outsung and not outplayed, but with the hearts they have, Town's heart, the way they played today, the way they've stuck to the task has been absolutely unbelievable.
There was a period in that second half when Waterfall was just a man mountain. He was just magnificent. And
you don't know how he does it. How that ball comes to him in the box, he's there again into the header. And I tell you what, there's other people doing the same. Emmanuel, for me, I mean, I know he's created a couple of goals, but I've watched him down this right-hand side, and in the first half as well, he's worked so hard. They've all played the part. It's unfair probably to pick some people out rather than others. You know, Holohan, what a hero, taking 2 penalties at away Premier League pitch, although, you know, not within that longer time between each penalty as well, and taken with such a plumb, such clean strikes as well. You know, it takes some guts to be able to do that. But everyone, all of them heroes all the way across. The Mar stood up to the test, didn't he? Efforty playing out of position. He's played that position a few times on the trot now, right side centre half. He was brilliant as well. You know, it's a real amazing effort by all the players and all the fans combined.
And they're not leaving that pitch anytime soon, are they? In blue at the far end of St Mary's. And the fans are not leaving St Mary's, regardless of how long the journey home. Some of them will not go home for days. Some of them will probably be there in the morning, just sitting there and pinching themselves and thinking, did that really happen? Did the lowest ranked team in the FA Cup come to a Premier League side and beat them 2-1 on their own patch and go through to the last 8? Think about that. Grimsby Town in the last 8 of the world's most famous cup competition. You could not have envisaged that at the start of the season. Maybe even some could not have envisaged that at the start of the match. But it has happened. History is created. And who knows what happens now?
Well, I'll tell you what has happened on that screen. I've just seen Paul Hurst smile, and that's something else, isn't it? It takes something to get him going, but you know, he must be so proud of these players. You know, when you see a team go out and play the way you want them to play, show the heart and determination and play together and form, and see the unity that you've created within the squad around the dressing room, and see it convert into a performance like that, you've got to be so proud, and he does deserve the credit. You know, any knockers of Paul Hurst have got to give him credit for what he's achieved here. Team spirit wise, he's created a real nice atmosphere in there, and they all play for each other.
I'm looking at Matt Dean, I'm wondering what you're doing still sitting there. Shouldn't you be down on that touchline?
I'm going down there. I don't think I'll be allowed down there, will I? But
just dive on.
I'm going to go on. All right.
Get arrested. We'll come and get you out of jail later. Matt will be back. A wonderful, evocative
I'll be in the pub, Ben, I don't know about you.
Well, we're
here staying there overnight.
Well, the hotel we're in, the bar's only open till 11. There's a lot of Grimsby fans in there. They could make a million tonight. Wow. The players are just making their way off the pitch. We're seeing some of the highlights of the game. TV company are replaying the second penalty. It was a soft penalty. He swung an arm at him though. Oh, we're going to get some reaction here. Look who's coming down. Grimsby lad. We're going to get him on air. He is a man that'll have... I wonder whether he'll join us. Are you going to have a few words with us? I'm sure he will. Yeah, Glenn, come on. Born in Grimsby, we had him on Sports Talk on Monday night. He's a big hero in Southampton, Glenn Cockrell. Lovely to see you. What did you make of that?
Unbelievable achievement for Grimsby Town. Yeah, my thoughts were for Southampton, but Grimsby Town thoroughly deserved tonight. Unbelievable atmosphere. The fans were terrific. The desire for Grimsby lads against a team that are very, very talented, but not a lot of desire in their team, and the desire for Grimsby got them through.
Did the officials get it right, Glenn, in terms of the penalties and all the decisions? A lot of big decisions in the game.
Look, this game's been played for over 100 years, and there's always going to be the odd mistake. But overall, yeah, it was 2 penalties, and I think they were about right. You know, sometimes it's 100% spot on, and sometimes it isn't, but it's down to the referee. I'm quite happy not to involve VAR, because that's how I played the game. And people are going to make mistakes, whether they're a player, a referee, linesman. But overall, the 90 minutes, Grimsby Town put everything into that game, and for me, deserved it.
What about the support from your hometown?
Unbelievable. A Wednesday evening, which has probably killed them, because I think there'd have been double if it had been a Saturday. But the support has been incredible. So I'm absolutely delighted for the fans.
Glenn, lovely to see you. You're looking like a rock star, by the way. Crofty, don't you look like a rock star?
I thought it was Rod Stewart coming over.
Younger version.
Absolutely.
Glenn, wonderful. Time for popping down to see us. Top man, lovely to see you. You did. All right, brilliant. There you go. Glenn Cockrell with us on the Burnsy Show. Sorry, it's not the Burnsy Show. It's a Wednesday night sports special. It's been special. We're going to talk to one of the co-owners of Grimsby Town. I think is he going to come and join us? Is Jason going to come in? Yeah, Jason, come in and have a seat. Jason Stockwood, excuse the bottles of water.
I thought it was Stuart then.
Yeah, it was. Glenn Cockrell, Grimsby lad, of course. We're going to... is Matt going to do the chat? No, we're going to do the chat. It's all elation here. Matt's going to put his headphones on, see if we can get there. Jason's doing the technical work. There's no extra money in that. All right, okay, we're going to do it this way. Let me just change round. We'll put you on a different mic. It's all happening. It's live. It's exciting. I was talking about the bottles of water. There'll be bottles of champagne for everybody associated with Grimsby Town. Jason, Matt Dean at one point tonight at the end ran out of words. Can you find the words for what's just happened tonight?
Well, there's a couple of things. For me, you know, coming up today, enjoying the whole experience, I said, look, to my family, my kids here, my wife's here, my friends here, I was like, the day is the thing, and if we dare to dream that there's a result out the back of it, that's just extra, right? So it's been an absolutely magical day, first and foremost. And then I've been just sat, half of the game I've been watching the town fans, just how remarkable, how proud I am, and just seeing the energy, the love, just the absolute outpouring of support, and just incredible. So for me, it's been, and then just, you know, that last 10 minutes just for me just ticked down, felt like a year. It was just remarkable. So I'm overwhelmed and just really excited about the prospect of last 8, right? So I tell you what, actually, as well, we got a note yesterday from the FA saying that we had to pay for the VAR tonight. And I said to Debbie, if we're going to spend 10 grand, slip it in an envelope for the referee rather than the VAR. And that's the best 10 grand we've ever spent, in it, the VAR tonight. Because I said to the lads from Southampton afterwards, I was like, how you live with that week in, week out is beyond me. But when it goes your way, absolutely amazing. No, it's remarkable.
That last 10 minutes, I think I said to Matt and Crofty, they look like the slowest digital clocks in the world. Those two clocks on top of the scoreboards. Did you manage to keep calm through all that?
Yeah, genuinely, it's really weird. Like Debbie says, the colours drained from my face. It's how I look. I keep telling it's just how I look these days after post 50. No, I was remarkably calm. No one expected us to win today, right? So you prepare well, you travel well, you enjoy the day for what it is, which is a chance to create memories. We talk about that a lot. Be with your family, be with your friends, and enjoy it. And the result's a bonus, right? Because no one expects it's a free hit, you know. So. Yeah, it's been absolutely incredible, and yeah, I don't think it's sunk in, to be honest. The idea of this town deserves this success. It's been the last day of the FA Cup, and what that'll do for us in terms of confidence going into next season as well will be remarkable. And let's not kid ourselves. Financially, it will really help put a bit of wind in ourselves as well.
Is that another 225,000 in the pot tonight for winning?
Minus the VAR fee, I think, something like that. So
bargain.
And then we'll be in the hat in the next few minutes, won't we? So there's another good away day, a bit of a payday there, so it all helps, and we've committed to the fans. Every penny we make goes into the player budget next year. So not only is it brilliant to have this experience today, but you can see what this does for clubs like Lincoln a few years ago. If we use this wisely, it can really help us kick on, and we plan to invest it in the squad and really support Paul into next year.
Did you talk to Paul? Did Paul expect to win tonight?
No, look, Paul, you all know Paul, right? He's the calmest. He downplays everything. I've even spoke to Mel, his missus, how like he's like that at home apparently as well. So I bet it's a banger fun around Christmas, right? But he's for me, he's really calm. I spoke to him yesterday and I said, look, I'm really proud of what he's done. I'm really proud of the squad he's put together, the effort, and I wanted everyone to enjoy it. I wanted the players to, and I wanted him to try and enjoy it as well, because as I said, it's a free hit today. And he's done incredibly well. No one expected. It just shows, though, with a bit of endeavour and a bit of luck, right? We all need that in life. It shows what can happen. But no, he was. We said, look, I said yesterday, look, I'm really proud that we're here and we had a chance today. Didn't think we were coming here to win, but I thought we could come here and we could represent ourselves well, and we had a chance. And for the lowest ranked team in the competition to come here and feel like you can have a go is the best we could hope for. So here we are, in the hat for the next round. Absolutely brilliant. And
the first team ever to beat 5 teams from divisions above them.
Is that right?
In the FA Cup
I think I saw Matt tweeted that earlier. That's lovely, isn't it? We keep talking about wanting markers of progress and things that. I had the great privilege tonight to meet Laurie McMenemy, and I chat to him about, 50 years ago, people are still talking about his impact on the club. And 50 years from now, people will be talking about tonight and what Paul and the team have done, and that's what you want. As a player, as a manager, this is something that'll go down in the history books for the club, and they all deserve it.
And I know you're big on community, and you're big on beyond the football club and what it can do for the town. There was a lot of national media coverage in the build-up to this. Now it'll go bonkers, won't it? This will be great for the town, the area.
I hope so. I mean, look, I talk a lot about the towns. The towns, it's the narrative of the town is tilted towards the past, and something, we're proud of the fishing industry, but it's time we tilted it to the future, to the renewables industry, and all the positive things that are going on in the town. I meet people every day that are doing good work, that want to put that energy into something that's more positive, and the football club has a role to play in that. So I think if we can be a catalyst for that positive energy and get the town and the club walking a couple of inches taller like we all will tonight, that's the job we want to play, right? But so I'm hopeful that this is just another part of the narrative that helps us kick on into a more optimistic, hopeful future.
You're one game from Wembley now.
Is that right? I haven't even thought of that.
FA Cup semi-final.
That'd be all right, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Do you want a home or an away tie?
Don't care, honestly. I've said before, we play Timbuktu on a Monday if we had to. We don't. We're just so delighted to be in the hat, and either way, it'll be brilliant. We've seen tonight, it's great to have an occasion to come away from town in the middle of the week and have this sort of spectacle. That'd be brilliant. If it's at Blundell Park, it'll be absolutely rocking, won't it? So either way, one up for a win.
Thank you very much for your time. I know a lot of people want to talk to you. Thanks for coming on, and well done to you and Andrew and everybody at the club for creating the situation where this can happen. Jason Stockwood, wonderful stuff. Thank you for joining us live